Seattle, led by head coach Tom Flores, with a record of 5-8. Last year, the Seattle Seahawks only won 2 games, and Tom Flores told us yesterday, Hank, that he can see the light at the end of the tunnel right now starting to come for this team.
And there's not a better guy for this franchise than Tom Flores. He's proven what a terrific coach he was when he coached the Raiders to 2 Super Bowl victories. He's a very patient guy, a good teacher, and understanding. He's the guy for this job.
Okay, here we are. John Casey all set to kick off for the Seahawks. Johnny Bailey and Anthony Edwards. That's Edwards, number 83 in front, Johnny Bailey in back. And our ball game is underway. Bailey at the goal line. And Johnny Bailey gets across the 20 to about the 23-yard line. There is a flag on the play. Johnny Bailey coming back from an injury. Once again, tackle there is made by David Bratton. Once again, flag on the play. Initial call seems to be against the Cardinals.
Illegal block in the back, 38 on the receiving team, half the distance to the goal, first down.
Referee Ron Blum. So it will be quarterback Steve Berline leading the way for the Phoenix Cardinals this afternoon. 12 touchdown passes, 13 interceptions. It is 1st and 10 for Phoenix at their own 5-yard line. Berline to throw from his own end zone. And he throws it away incomplete. Pressure being put on by Jeff Bryant. Okay, the offensive line has to protect Berline this afternoon. Sharp, Wolf, Cunningham, Smith, and Rick Cunningham. Backs and receivers, Ron Moore, Gary Clark, Ricky Kroll, Reeves, and Larry Centers. So immediately, Hank, we see where the Seahawks have put a lot of pressure, or can put a lot of pressure on Phoenix.
Yeah, Cunningham the right tackle didn't do a very good job of blocking Bryant at all. He got in there fast.
Flags on the play again. That's 2 flags very early in the game, which means either sloppiness or a lot of nervous anticipation.
False start.
All right, the defensive alignment now for Seattle. Tua Tagovailoa, Cortez Kennedy, Joe Nash, and Jeff Bryant. Murphy, Barry Wooden are the linebackers. And the secondary, Gray, Blackman, Robinson, and McLaurin. Gray and McLaurin making their start, the first start today. And you know, Steve Berline really might try to attack them. On 2nd and 12, ball at the 3-yard line. Movement by the Phoenix Cardinals.
Watch the right guard here, Lance Smith. There you see him surging ahead prematurely, and that's the penalty on the play.
So the Cardinals, Hank, are just digging themselves into a deeper hole here on their first possession of the afternoon.
That's why you got to really be careful. You know, when you're playing in a dome stadium away from home, you're a lot better off usually to start playing defense than offense.
This is Ron Moore. Moore struggles to get back to the line of scrimmage on 2nd and 13. That will make it 3rd down. And so the Phoenix Cardinals, who came in here with high hopes of getting a big victory this afternoon after coming off a loss last week, find themselves in a tremendous hole.
And the worst thing about it is, if they don't get the first down here, which is unlikely, Seattle's going to wind up with good field position.
That's right. With that rookie great quarterback they have, there's no telling what will happen. 3rd and 13. Berline from his end zone. It is incomplete, intended for Johnny Bailey. Eugene Robinson defending for Seattle.
He had plenty of time to throw the ball that time too, Jim. You know, didn't have much of a push from the middle area. Got a little bit rushed from the outside, but the middle area, Cortez Kennedy didn't get off the ball very well and didn't provide any rush at all up the middle.
So Rich Camarillo will be in now to punt for Phoenix. Kelvin Martin, number 84, the ever dangerous Martin. And Seattle should get real good field position out of this. Good high punt. Martin signaling for a fair catch, and he does at the 45-yard line. That is a punt of 43 yards and no return, and that's where Phoenix will take over, or rather Seattle will take over first and 10. Here's Rick Mirer, the rookie quarterback from Notre Dame. Many people are thinking he will be the AFC's Rookie of the Year this year. He has started all 13 games. This is the 14th game for him to be starting this year, Hank, and he's just full of confidence.
Well, he's going to have a lot of competition, I think, too, from Bettis.
Jerome Bettis from the Los Angeles Rams, the running back.
Yeah, so ironic, two Notre Dame players.
Battling it out, and now he has a battle with the Cardinals. First and 10. Mirer to pass. Throws. Intended for Farrell Edmunds, and it is incomplete. Farrell Edmunds, the fine tight end for the Seahawks. Here's the offensive line. Roberts, Grills, Donaldson, Hitchcock, and Andy Heck. Receivers and backs, Warren Williams, Martin Blades, and Farrell Edmunds.
Donaldson really has done a good job in the middle, the center. Who they got from Indianapolis. He's a good one.
It is second and 10 from the 45 of Phoenix. The toss back to Chris Warren. That hold. Warren still on his feet.
He's gone.
Touchdown Seahawks. "45 yards for Chris Warren." And oh, Hank, I know you were talking about him at the beginning of the game, just down on the field.
Look at this now. They just pitch it outside. A good block. Good block by the fullback. And look at he runs right through a would-be tackler, goes all the way in there for the touchdown. What a great way to start, and that's a great advantage of field position.
In to attempt the extra point conversion right now, John Casey. So the Seahawks have electrified their fans on their opening drive. And Casey's extra point conversion is good. This is the longest run for Warren this season, 45 yards. And now the Seahawks have a 7-0 lead.
And also the tackle, Williams does a good job of kicking Lynch out to the outside. And of course, the running back Warren does a super job of going through a would-be tackler, goes all the way in for the touchdown. Terrific execution on the play.
Hank, that was the Seahawks' longest run from scrimmage this year, 45 yards. And now John Casey all set to kick off again. Short, high, Johnny Bailey at the 9. Bailey finds a hole, gets to the outside, has some running room. Johnny Bailey knocked out of bounds at the 40-yard line by the kicker and John Casey. And that's where Phoenix will take over first and 10, a return of 30 yards. And now Phoenix has a lot better field position than they did their opening drive.
And Bailey does a good job in those kickoff returns. He came into the game with a 23-yard average on the returns.
And there's an injury on the field to a Seahawk player. That's Michael Bates. Looks like there was a face mask right there. And he is sitting up right now, which is good news. That is number 81, Michael Bates.
Yeah, and you know what happened? I think he grabbed the face mask and his fingers went through the mask and hit him in the eye. I think that's really what the problem is. He's rubbing his eyes, and that could be what happened on the play.
You know, Hank, that happens a lot of times, and a lot of times people end up with a lot of broken fingers, getting them caught in the face mask and also the ear holes in the helmet.
Yeah, and they're just grabbing to make a tackle. It's not intentional. They're just grabbing for something to make a play, and they get stuck in that mask, and that's what happens.
And
we take another look at it. Look at Bates now, number 81, coming in. Watch his hand. Look at the hand. Look at the hand there. See, hits him in the face mask, and I think in the process, the hand goes through there and pokes him in the eye.
Exactly what you were talking about. Another flag on the field. Hank, that must be 3 or 4 flags already. And we have 13 minutes and 37 seconds left to go here in the first quarter.
Looks like a preseason game right now. With all the penalties, you wouldn't think at this stage of the season.
False start prior to the snap, 61 offense, 5 yards, repeat first down.
And that's the second penalty on Lance Smith. And Joe Bugel has to really just hate that altogether. 4 penalties already for 13 yards. 13:37 left to go in the first quarter. Seattle has a 7-0 lead over Phoenix. Beuerlein tosses back to Ron Moore. Moore struggling, gets back to the line of scrimmage, picks up a couple of yards. Eugene Robinson in on the tackle for Seattle. Ron Moore, who Hank told us was a cookie monster. He loves cookies, and look at what he's done so far this year as far as a rookie rusher.
I wonder how many cookies he's had.
He says he doesn't make any difference what kind. He likes all kinds of cookies.
Yeah.
He told us yesterday, you know, he hasn't received any cookies from anyone in the Phoenix area, but he's all welcome to all kinds.
Yeah, he likes them like they're in a conveyor belt.
Yeah.
He just opens up and they fly right in.
You better believe it. Here's Beuerlein on 2nd and 11. Throwing. Complete to Ricky Proehl. Proehl gets to the 45-yard line. Tackle made by Terry Wooden. So Steve Beuerlein, you know, when you talked about, you know, Seattle starting 2 new guys at the corners with they're starting especially Carlton Gray from UCLA. Beuerlein has to really kind of like that because he is a very good long passer.
Yeah, I would be surprised, though, if Joe Bugle would permit him to take advantage of 2 kids in the corner.
Oh, no, he would never let him do that. The other is Dave McCluen, who's making his first start. 3rd and 3 at the 46. Lot of time. Beuerlein throws. Complete. That's Ricky Proehl again. Enough yardage for the first down. A pickup of 18 yards. And boy, he really threw that one on the line, didn't he?
Yeah, he's got a gun. He's got a gun. He had plenty of time to throw the ball, got a rush from the outside, but was able to stay into the pocket and get rid of the football. And, you know, they had a stunt in the outside with the tackle going outside and the end going inside. No team in the National Football League, I don't think, throws the ball 18 to 20 yards deep down the field as well as Beuerlein and this Cardinal team.
On the 38-yard line of Seattle, 1st and 10. This is Moore. Inside the 35 to the 34-yard line. You know, when we were talking with Ron Moore yesterday, he was so quiet and non-assuming. Oh, remember he told us that his idol in the National Football League was someone that we all love, and of course that's a great running back for the Chicago Bears, Walter Payton.
Well, he's a hero of a lot of guys. You know, he really is, you know, and justifiably so. But he lit up like a Christmas tree when he talked about Walter.
Oh, absolutely. Pickup of 3 yards, 2nd and 7 at the 35.
Look at all the room on the left side with the receiver on the left side. There's a lot of space there. See if he's changing the play and does something there. Nope.
They run to the left. This is Moore again. Moore picking up a couple of yards. 11 minutes left to go in the first quarter. The Seahawks have a 7-0 lead on a 45-yard touchdown run by Chris Warren. How about that, Hank? Minnesota taking care of Green Bay.
Yeah, that's kind of surprise. But, you know, they're a very good team defensively. They got McMahon back, I think, and he makes a big difference. They don't score a lot of points with him, but somehow, some way, he finds a way to win.
He's always been a winner. He threw 3 touchdown passes today.
Yeah, did he?
Yes,
yeah,
indeed.
Well, that's understandable.
3rd and 4 at the 32. 7-0 in favor of the Seahawks. Beuerlein throwing to the outside. Complete to Gary Clark. Pickup of 13 yards. You know, remember we talked to Joe Bugle yesterday? He said that Steve Beuerlein is the best medium to long passer that he's ever been around, and that's quite a compliment.
Yeah, it really is. But see, there's another. I mentioned that a little while ago. The intermediate patterns, he throws them terrifically well. And that time again, he had plenty of time to throw the ball, and the ball was right where it had to be thrown.
So now the Cardinals are on the move. 1st and 10. 10 minutes and 10 seconds left to go in the opening period. Play action, throws to the end zone, intended for Ricky Proehl, incomplete. Eugene Robinson defending for the Seahawks.
Just a little bit too long. Just a little bit too long. He tried, dove for the ball, but couldn't reach it. Watch it now. Look at Proehl come off the line of scrimmage. Makes an inside move, and the ball was thrown a little bit late, too, and a little bit too far out in front.
Trying to take advantage of Dave McCluen, who you said, no, Joe Bugle would never let him take it.
No, not at all.
No.
And McCluen's daddy was a great player. Remember Ken?
That's right. Oh,
Played for
absolutely. The Raiders. That's right.
That's terrific.
2nd and 10 at the 19 of Seattle. Ron Moore down to to about the 15 to the 16-yard line. A much better drive for the Cardinals as opposed to their opening possession when they had like 3 penalties and had to punt. And as a result, Chris Warren went 45 yards for a score.
And then the nice thing about this drive, Jim, as you know, is they're exercising patience. They didn't panic after they got the first touchdown, talking about the Seattle Seahawks. They're just going about their work, doing what they plan to do, and doing a good job of right now, maintaining possession of the ball, moving the chains. Now the important thing is they got it in have to get it in the end zone.
On third down, Randall Hill at the bottom of your screen. The blitz is on. Berline thrown for a sack. Carlton Gray, number 26 from UCLA.
And he came right up the middle, right into his face. Here he comes. Gray comes in there, makes the hit, and then gets some help from some other people on that defensive front of the Seattle Seahawks. That was a tough play to lose yardage, that much yardage on the play.
So it will be fourth down for Phoenix. Greg Davis is in now to attempt a 41-yard field goal, and this year he is 3 of 8 from this distance. And it is blocked at the line of scrimmage and rolls into the end zone, no good. So with the blocked field goal, 8:43 left to go in the first quarter. Seattle on top, 7-0. So the frustration continues for Phoenix. David Brandon blocks the field goal. Seattle 1st and 10. Handoff to Chris Warren in the backfield, and he's thrown for a loss.
Okay, watch Brandon right in this middle area, right in here. He gets to push, blocks the kick. Number 51. There you see him get the hand up. Blocks the kick. Great penetration by Brandon, number 51.
All those special teams do so much for you, and that's what you were really preaching when you were coaching.
Well, you know, there's 32 plays on the special teams. There's a lot of business to do, take care of. You don't do a good job.
Myra going deep. Beautiful catch by Kelvin Martin. Oh, what a catch. Did he stretch out for that one? 41 yards.
Watch Martin coming off the line of scrimmage. See, the defensive back turns his knees to the inside, takes his eye. He's got man-for-man coverage, takes his eye off the receiver, gets caught on the deep pattern, and Williams does a fantastic job of reaching and stretching for the ball.
He really did. Kelvin Martin, that was his 50th catch of the year. This is Chris Warren again. Warren to the outside. He's at the 30. Sid runs Lorenzo Lick. He's on his way. Out of bounds at the 16, 18-yard line. Michael Zordich, that's a pickup of 19 yards. Coach Chris Warren is closing in slowly on 1,000 yards. He made it 1,000.
Yeah, he made a great move there to the inside. That's a great illustration of the kind of vision. Keeps his head up, eyes open, and makes the cut. And that's the great thing about the I formation, being back there deep enough so you can take advantage of over-pursuing defenses.
And so far this year, he has 968 yards rushing, 64 yards and 1 touchdown today. 1st and 10 at the 18 of the Cardinals. Toss back to Warren. Hit about the 18-yard line, driven back there by John Booty. He's the kind of running back that really kind of reads as he runs, but once he makes up his mind, he just takes off.
Well, he's a patient runner. You say he uses his blocks very well, sets them up extremely well, and then he puts on the burst, the afterburner. After he sees the cavity, he'll take advantage of it and jump in there full steam ahead.
6 minutes, 30 seconds left to go in the opening quarter. 2nd and 10 at the 18 of the Cardinals. Seattle on the move again. Myra throwing way over the head of Paul Green. Robert Massey defending for Phoenix.
Massey really got turned around in that touchdown pass by Martin. Didn't he? You notice?
Oh, he really did.
And the thing that happened, you being the outstanding defensive back you were, you noticed right off the bat he's looking to the inside. Once he got even with him, instead of looking at the receivers, he's turned his back to the receiver, looked to the quarterback, and then lost him, and then the process got beat deep on the play.
And that happens to every defensive back that's ever been in the National Football League more than once. You will get beat, but you've got to bounce back. And now The Cardinals are trying to bounce back. 3rd and 10. Mara running, throwing into the end zone, intended for Paul Green, and it is incomplete. And that's where Rick then was showing that great maneuverability that he has and has brought to this team.
Well, the other thing about it is he expressed a great poise because he knows what the rule is. Once he gets outside of the tackle, he can intentionally ground the ball. He wasn't going to eat the ball. He got rid of the ball, and so it's incomplete. He doesn't use or lose any yardage on the play.
So that will make it 4th down and a field goal attempt right now for Seattle. A field goal attempt of 37 yards for John Casey. And from this distance, he is a perfect 7 of 7 from 30 to 39 yards so far this year. His longest, as you saw, 53 yards. He gets it up. And it is good. So with the field goal, the Seahawks increase their lead to 10-0. Hank, Michael Bates is back.
Yeah, he did. You know, he's back, and thank goodness because he got poked in the eyes on that coverage. He's okay now.
Blurred vision and all. Here he goes, and he's the first one down again. Good high kick. Bailey at the 2. Down at the 12, 13-yard line, and Phoenix will be in deep trouble once again. Tackle made by Rob Thomas.
Well, they're back in a goulash again.
Oh, gee.
Bad field position again. Watch Bates. Coaches were talking about him before the game. They think he's one of the very best. Most times, most teams try to put 2 people on him because he's that dangerous. Look at, he's sifting his way through the maze. Oh, got a late hit there. Gave him a little massage on the shoulder.
Yeah, absolutely. There's Michael Bates, and they think he's going to be a fine wide receiver for them. 5:56 left to go in the first quarter. 1st and 10 at the 12. Berline still has the ball. Throws. Complete to Gary Clark. Clark still on his feet. Gets up to about the 39-yard line. Pickup of some 28 yards. Gary Clark, the free agent from Washington. And it's about time. A lot of people are thinking that he really showed his stuff.
Yeah, that's right. And, of course, watch the protection on the play. And, again, I hate to keep bringing it up, but this is another pattern. It's deeper than normally people throw in the 18, 20-yard area. Look at the time he has to throw the ball, and look at the big void right in the middle of that zone. He makes the catch and takes off and picks up good yardage on the play.
1st and 10 at the 40-yard line of Phoenix. Play action. Berline down the middle. Great defense by Doug McClure, intended once again for Gary Clark. Let's go to New York for an NFL Today update. Once again, here is Greg Gumbel.
All right, Jim, at the Silverdome in Pontiac, Steve Young has thrown his 2nd touchdown pass of the afternoon. This one a 20-yarder to Sanjay Beach between 2 defenders. 49ers 14, Lions nothing. First quarter, Jim. And Hank, back to you in Seattle.
All right, Greg, thank you very much. Well, that Steve Young is really on a roll, isn't he?
Oh, he's hot. He is really hot. And he's so decisive. Boy, he's not gotten to a stage where he is able to read the coverage on the first drop. He knows exactly where he's going to throw the ball.
And right now, Steve Berline is going to try and read the coverage of the Seattle Seahawks at 2nd and 10. Screen. This is Larry Centers. Centers just picks up about 1 yard before he's tackled there by Kevin Murphy.
Cunningham, the center, had a chance to maybe help make him have a big play on the play, but he missed the block. And as a result, the defensive guy made the tackle. Couldn't tell who it was.
You know, it's interesting talking to Berline yesterday. He says, you know, the guys shouldn't be talking about winning one for Joe Bugle so he can keep his job. They should start to win because they're sick and tired of losing.
Well, you do first things first. If you win, then everything else takes care of itself.
Absolutely. But they're trailing now 10-0, 3rd and 8. Berline deep down the middle. Intended for Randall Hill. He has it and scores. 58 yards, and it's time to boogie in the end zone. Yesterday, remember, we were talking to Berline. He said, we've got to get the ball deeper to Randall Hill.
Lower right, watch Randall Hill, number 81. They evidently have a zone. He ran right through the zone. There was a short man and a deep man, and he ran right by both of them. And Blackman was right behind him, and he ran right by him and into the end zone for the touchdown.
That's a cardinal sin as far as a defensive back is concerned. You just can't let people just run right by you.
It doesn't have to be a cardinal sin. It's just a sin.
Just a sin,
anybody.
that's right.
Doesn't make a difference what team it is.
That's right. And the extra point conversion is good. So just like that, the Cardinals are back in the game. They trail the Seahawks 10-7.
81, Hill on the bottom of the screen, and McClellan 44. Now, it's obviously a zone defense with double cover, but Blackman, 25, did not take the right angle. He took a flat angle, and in the process of coming flat, Hill ran right by him and caught the touchdown pass.
You know, Hank, we've got to be related. Randall and I have got to be related.
Boy, that's speed. That's
you
right.
better believe it. We have to be. There's a kickoff by Davis. Here is Michael Bates, 1 yard deep in the end zone. Bates gets across the 10 to about the 13-yard line. And that's where Seattle will take over 1st and 10. And the Seahawks have a 10-7 lead.
Were you referring to the catch or the dance in the end zone?
The dance. Absolutely, the dance. I didn't have good hands when I played anyway, so I've got to go with the dance. 4:14 left to go here in the first quarter. The Seahawks have a 10-7 lead over the Phoenix Cardinals. Rittenmeyer in at quarterback now for the Seahawks. Chris Warren in the backfield. He already has one touchdown run of 45 yards. Warren again, still on his feet to about the 15-yard line. You know, you still look at that Minnesota-Green Bay score, and what a big victory for the Minnesota Vikings.
Yeah, Green has done a terrific job there, especially with all the problems he had at quarterback. Atlanta, this is quite a surprise, too, getting a lump from Washington. Houston is hot. Man, they're hot. The Rams are getting beat by Cincinnati, 15-3. That's the final.
Yep.
Boy, that's another big surprise.
That's right. Cincinnati, their only 2 victories this year have been against the 2 LA teams. 2nd down. Meyer complete to Kelvin Martin, who fumbles the ball. It's picked up by John Booty and is ruled incomplete now. One official ruled that it was a completed pass. And now we'll see what the replay shows us.
And Booty did a good job that time. Don't try to officiate the game. Pick it up and run with it. Let him decide, make that decision. Now he was down. Knees were down. That's a good call.
So the Seahawks will maintain position. That is enough yardage for the first down. It will be 1st and 10 at the 29-yard line of Seattle. 3 minutes, 29 seconds left to go in the opening period. A toss back to Warren. Good step at the line of scrimmage, and man, does he really turn it on once he makes up his mind. Just like you said, a patient runner.
Yeah, he is a patient runner, and the nice thing about it is, as the running back, right or wrong, you got to make a decision, make it cut, and get it up the field.
That's a pickup of 11 yards.
Now look at this. Now look at this. He has a little stutter here, right in there. Really kind of a giveaway, takeaway leg deal, and picks up extra yardage on the play.
So, and with that run of 11 yards, he has 980 on the season. He's going to reach 1,000 before halftime. Myra, way over the head of Kelvin Martin, incomplete. Well, you talk about people fighting for postseason play. Here are the teams that have made the playoffs: the Giants, Dallas, and Houston, a division winner with their victory.
Well, you know, you have to be impressed with the comeback job that Dallas did, losing early in the season, and Houston, the way they played early, and now they're one of the hot teams in the league.
Isn't it amazing? They set Warren Moon down, and instead of him pouting and getting all angry and everything, he bounced back with a flourish.
That's right.
Oh, look at that.
Boy, can you imagine that? That's more points that Buffalo scored than what they did in the last 3 games.
That's right. 2nd and 10 at the 40. Warren again. Warren gets to about the 40-yard line. Tackle there made by Eric Hill, number 58.
The offensive line, the execution of the offensive line has been very impressive, very outstanding by the Seahawks.
Now, Eric Hill is a gentleman that Joe Bugle was telling us yesterday, Hank, that he feels Eric Hill is the best inside linebacker in all of pro football right now.
Well, he has a great deal of respect for him, and I tell you, a lot of people in the league share that same impression of him. They like him very much.
From the shotgun on 3rd and 9. Meyer complete to Paul Green. Green along the far sidelines and knocked out of bounds by John Booty. Why would they put the shotgun in the last couple of weeks for Myron, Coach?
Well, I think they fool around with it a little bit, and he liked it. He feels very comfortable with it, and for that reason, why you do what you have to do, and especially if it helps the person involved in that particular position. He kind of thinks it's an asset, so that's why they got him back there.
Good. All right, 4th and 3. A minute 40 left to go in the first quarter. Johnny Bailey back to receive this nice, high, long punt. He lets it hit at the 10. And it goes into the end zone for a touchback. It will be 1st and 10. A punt of 53 yards. And this is the holiday season and a lot of great bowl action coming up. Christmas Eve Day. Kick off your holiday weekend when CBS Sports presents the John Hancock Bowl, coming up live from El Paso. This year's Hancock Bowl features a Southwest shootout with Doak Walker Trophy at stake. Byron Bam Morris of Texas Tech matching up against the multi-dimensional attack of the Oklahoma Sooners. That's Friday at 2:30 Eastern right here on CBS Sports. Here's Berline, the quarterback. The toss back to Ron Moore. Moore met at the line of scrimmage. That defense is really starting to try and ignite things here for Seattle.
Blackman got a shot right between the 2 and the 5 that time. Knocked him back a little bit, but he hung on. Still helped make the tackle.
And one thing he did is what good tackling defensive backs are supposed to do, is get your whole body on the running back before he turns the corner. If he turns the corner, you're hurt.
That's right, and you don't see many people wrapping people up like you used to do it, Jim.
Used to try to do.
Yeah. Right, there you are.
2nd and 9. 45 seconds left to go in the first quarter. Berline to Larry Centers. Centers to the 27-yard line. Robert Blackman in again on the tackle, along with Terry Wooden.
Centers is their go-to guy. They like him. He came into the game with 47 catches.
So the Seahawks jumped off to a 10-0 lead. 45-yard touchdown run by Chris Warren, then a field goal. But then the Cardinals bounced right back on Steve Berline's long touchdown pass to Randall Hill. This is Centers across the 30. Centers gets to the 33-yard line. Tackle made by Natu Tuatagaloa. And that is the end of the first quarter with the score: Seattle 10 and Phoenix 7. I'm Jim Hill along with Hank Stram. It is Seahawks leading the Cardinals 10-7, and Berline said he was going to throw it, Coach.
Yeah, and I like Berline. He's got a lot of poise, and he's all business. All that's missing with him is a briefcase.
That's it.
He's all business.
He's going to try and take care of business on this drive. 1st and 10. Plenty of time throws, complete to Gary Clark. Clark gets up to the 40-yard line. So in talking to Steve yesterday, he was saying that if there's any players on the team that talk about they want to win it for Joe Bugel, then that's kind of a cop-out. They should quit doing those kinds of things. And as you mentioned, winning takes care of everything.
Yeah, that's the only thing you got to worry about. If you win and play like you're supposed to win or supposed to play, then good things are going to happen to you. And that should be the ultimate goal. Just play the game like you're supposed to play it and do the best you can. Everything else will take care of itself.
2nd and 2 at the 41.
Oh, look at that big hole on the left side.
Play action. Oh, Berline fooled everybody. Throw. Boom. What a great defensive effort there by McClure. Intended for Gary Clark.
Clark did a poor job. Even though he was out of bounds, that ball was flying in the air. He should have reacted and tried to make the catch anyhow. You never know where you are. You got to know where you are.
In other words, maybe he didn't come back for the ball.
Well, even after it was deflected, went up in the air. He just kept going out of bounds, and no response to the tip ball at all.
So Doug McClure making his first start of the season. Raiders leading Tampa Bay, the silver and black. They're still in the playoff hunt, 7-0 first.
And they got a lot better team than their record indicates. They're going to be a snootful before the season's over. They got 2 more games left, including this one. They got to win this one first.
Berline Good catch by Clark. So where Gary Clark didn't make a great effort on the previous deflection, and he went high for that one.
Yeah, anytime you run a hitch pattern like you just ran, you want to, if you can, throw the ball right at the numbers. You don't like for him to have to leap up into the air because it takes a lot of time for him to get back down on the ground and then reverse, turn upfield and try to make yardage on a play. If he just caught the ball and turned, he'd have made more yardage.
And it seems like Beuerlein is trying to spread the wealth around to all of his receivers and backs and not just go to one or two individuals.
Yeah, look at all the room the receivers got on this right side, the right corner. Now he's going in motion. Cole is.
Flags on the play. That was Kevin Murphy, who was obviously offsides. And our referee this afternoon, once again, Ron Blum.
Tom was very calm and collected before the game on the sideline.
You know, he always has been.
Yeah, he always has been. You know, not many people realize he played on our championship team, our team that won a Super Bowl game. He's the only guy in the history of the Chiefs that had a perfect passing record. He was 1 for 1. And in the game between the San Diego Chargers and the Chiefs, right before the half, it was raining. It was a crazy day. Tom went in to hold for the extra point. We faked the kick. We threw a pass to Bobby Holmes, and he went 55 yards for a touchdown.
Brilliant call on your part, right?
Great execution.
One of many brilliant calls by Hank Stram. 1st and 5 at 50-yard line. Is Ron Moore. Moore gets into Seattle territory. Gets down to about the 47-yard line. Tackle made by Murphy and Tua Tagovailoa.
And the funny thing about it was he's bleeding. Broke his nose on the play, and he's coming off the field. And I couldn't tell whether he was laughing or crying. And I said, Tom, what are you crying or laughing? He said, well, I'm doing both, Coach. He said, I'm laughing a little bit because I threw the touchdown pass. I feel good about that, but I'm crying because it hurts.
Yeah. Been a lot of tears for Joe Bugel so far this year. But you know, it's amazing. Of their losses, they have 8 losses by 7 points or less, and the Raiders have scored again.
Yeah, there's no way in the world. I still think he's done a good job, and I think he deserves to be the coach of the Phoenix Cardinals.
This is Ron Moore again. Moore struggling to get down to the 45-yard line, which is short of the first down. Cortez Kennedy in on the tackle for Seattle.
And Kennedy, you know, he played so well last year. He was fantastic. Last year he wore number 99 in honor of Brown. He's, you know, the great player for the Philadelphia Eagles. He wore 96 before that, changed it to Brown, and he played the entire season as a dedication with that number to Brown. Now he went back to his old number, and he's not playing, not because of the number, of course, but he's not playing nearly as well as he did a year ago. Not nearly as well.
He's going to try and improve that this afternoon. Short yardage, 3rd and 1. Moore. Looks like he got enough yardage for the first down. You know, when you talk about Cortez Kennedy, his defensive player of the year last year, and he said he wanted to get more respect from people all over the league. Well, he got it because now they're at least double teaming him on passing situations.
Yeah, that's right. And of course, the thing that happened, they were double teaming him last year, triple teaming him on some occasions, and he still was able to make a lot of big plays. He hasn't done nearly as much of that this year.
So now the Seahawks are talking about moving him around from one side of the line of scrimmage to the other in order to create confusion for the offenses. But it's 1st and 10 at the 44. Beuerlein stumbles but regains his balance, throws. Intercepted. Eugene Robinson. The officials are saying he is down at about the 24-yard line, but that's Eugene Robinson with his 8th interception of the year. He's been all over, and Beuerlein's just shaking his head because the ball was tipped.
And Beuerlein is such a perfectionist. He doesn't like to throw interceptions and make bad plays. He's disturbed about that one, about the fact that it was tipped.
That was Beuerlein's 14th interception of the year. So the ball was tipped by Carlton Gray. 10 minutes and 50 seconds left to go in the second quarter. 10-7 Seahawks.
That we've seen so far.
Eugene Robinson, who just came up with his 8th interception of the season, and that puts him one behind the leaders, Odoms of Buffalo, Woodson of Pittsburgh. And he's a fine defensive back, and so he just came up with the interception to give his teammates, the Seahawks, the ball. 1st and 10 at their own 24. Handing off in the backfield. You know, it's really amazing when you look at Rick Mirer, Hank, and the composure that this young man has.
Well, this is the first time I've had a chance to see him play professionally, but I'm amazed how smooth he is. You notice how he's very fluid, very smooth. Everything doesn't get shaken up. He's very much like his coach, Tom Flores. Tom was that kind of a quarterback.
And of course, coming from a big program like Notre Dame, you know, he's played in front of bigger crowds, so he's used to big time atmosphere.
You're right.
This is a toss back to Chris Warren again. Warren still on his feet. Up to the midfield strike. Tackled by Eric Hill. That's a pickup of 25 yards for Chris Warren.
Looked like Blades, number 89, got a good block downfield also. Williams out in front. He gets a good block. I think that's Blade out there trying to make a block. Beautiful execution. I tell you, we've seen some big holes here. Good blocking by the lineman.
104 yards on 9 carries. That puts him over 1,000 for the year. He has 1,008 yards rushing for Chris Warren. Mirer still on his feet, and he finally tackled. Tackle made by Reuben Davis. That's the second straight year that Chris Warren has rushed for over 1,000 yards. And you talk about steady. That's exactly what he is, Coach.
Yes, steady, dependable, and an outstanding athlete. And that time, Freddie Joe Nunn that time had a shot at making a sack in the backfield, but missed the tackle.
Warren is the kind of guy that has made and is making and will make a lot of people miss tackles. It is 2nd and 17. 9:03 left to go in the first half.
That's what happens if you try to tackle him high. You got to tackle him low. Ooh, look at that big hole inside.
He went back into the crowd. Lorenzo Lynch in on the tackle for Phoenix. Yeah, those 49ers, that's Steve Young again. Oh, Hank. Kansas City losing 17-0 at home to San Diego.
Well, who the fuck?
And don't you know the Raiders love that score because they're leading Tampa Bay.
Oh, they're all smiles. I guarantee you, they're all smiles.
That AFC Western Division is really has a potential of tightening up.
Well, if Kansas City loses, Denver's already won. If the Raiders win, there'll be a three-way tie.
That's right. Here's Mirer being chased and just throws it away. And that's where the new rule this year comes into effect, Hank. Now, we talk about the AFC West and how, it's really all boggled up. And look at this.
Yeah, that's right. Look, we just talked about that. Kansas City 9. Denver's got 9 wins. And if Kansas City loses today, they go to 9-5, 9-5. The Raiders look like they're going to win. They'll be 9-5. So it'll be a triple dip, three-way tie.
Well, you talk about the tension building in the last 2 or 3 weeks of the season. That's what's going to happen. Rick Tootin is in now to punt for Seattle. He has a 44-yard average. Johnny Bailey back to receive for the Cardinals. Bailey signaling for a fair catch. There are flags down. The ball hits at the 20. Bailey grabbed it and tried to run after he signaled for the fair catch, and there are 2 flags on the field. There's a flag back at the line of scrimmage, and then another flag down where Johnny Bailey had signaled for a fair catch, caught the ball, and then tried to run.
The only thing about that is the ball hit the ground first, didn't it?
So that would...
Yeah, the fair catch is off, and now it becomes a free ball for him to catch it and on the bounce and run with it. Unless they change the rule this afternoon.
Well, here's referee Ron Blum, who's going to explain it all.
Running into the kicker foul is declined. First down. Timeout.
Okay, there's a commercial and a timeout on the field. Commercial coming up. We'll be back. Gary Clark is fussing, as he always has, but finals around the National Football League today, Hank, and of course, Washington taking care of Atlanta. But, you have to look at all. Buffalo taking care of Miami.
Well, how about New England giving Cleveland a little lump, too?
And look at Pittsburgh losing to Houston. Minnesota.
And this surprised me, Washington beating Atlanta after they played the last few weeks.
Berline now 9 of 16 for 143 yards, 1 touchdown and 1 interception. 2nd and 10. Good defense. Excellent defense by Raphael Robinson. Looked like Robinson was the intended receiver then, Hank.
Yeah, well, you know what happened is a rollout to the left side is tough for a right-handed quarterback to throw to his left. He got some pursuit from the inside, didn't get a chance to get set real well, and Robinson almost sucked that one up right out of the O-zone and made the interception.
Pass was intended for Randall Hill. 7:52 left to go in the first half. 3rd and 10 at the Cardinal 13-yard line. Complete to Centers. Across the 20. Enough yardage for the first down. Brought down from behind as he gets to the 32-yard line. A pickup of 19 yards. Tackle once again by Raphael Robinson.
And Center did a good job of acting on the play. Comes in for the left side. We'll watch it in here in just a minute. Watch 37. He'll sit in the middle, so he's looking at, watching those linebackers. Then the linebackers come. He goes down the field to make the catch. Does a good job of carrying the ball away from pressure. Goes down the sideline and picks up the necessary yardage for the first down. But he had to do a good job of acting, make sure he read the linebackers so they would come forward so he could go beyond the linebacker.
And he has great speed to go along with it. This is a toss back to Ron Moore. Moore trying to get around the corner, bumped out of bounds by Blackman.
I tell you, this Seahawk defense, you got to be impressed with the way they're playing this afternoon.
It's amazing, Hank, because every time there is a tackle made, when it's, relatively close to the line of scrimmage, you always see 4, 5, maybe 6 or 7 blue jerseys around the ball carrier.
Well, Rusty Tillman has done a good job of the defense, and of course, my old friend and my old coach, Tom Catlin, who has been here for an extended period of time, one of the very best defensive coordinators in the game, has also had a lot to do with the way they play defensive.
And Tillman told us yesterday he likes the way his team flies around to the ball. 2nd and 7 at the 35. Beuerlein intended for Gary Clark, and it is incomplete. Carlton Gray defending for Seattle.
And they're getting a pretty good rush with this, just a 4-man rush too, Jim.
And that's kind of unusual, wouldn't you think?
Yes, it is. But that's what they're doing right now. They're rushing 4 and dropping the rest of them off.
And you talk about all business, and Steve Beuerlein, he had his game face on yesterday when we talked to him. 6:43 left to go in the first half. Beuerlein going deep. Ricky Proehl. It's just too long for him. Beuerlein is he is so angry at himself for that.
Well, he's really upset, isn't he? I don't know why they don't do more of that, really, because McLuhan's he's a safety, really.
Right.
Playing on the corner. They ought to give him a lot of business. He's very deep off the ball, about 8 yards deep.
He just ran right by Carlton Gray.
That's right.
Well, we'll see if they come back to that the next time they get the ball. But right now it's 4th down. Kelvin Martin is back to receive deep for the Seattle Seahawks. This is Rich Camarillo. The 43-yard average now kicking for the Cardinals. Good high, long punt. Martin at the 12. Gets by the first group. Camarillo saved the touchdown. Larry Centers, a punt of 58 yards and a return of 33. So with that, 6:24 left to go in the first half. We'll be right back.
85, Derek Ware, he's coming down. Now look, he goes to the inside, he gets an arm on him, but he goes right through the arm. Martin does. You look at Camarillo here, slows him down, the kicker slows him down, or else that'd change the scoreboard.
Yeah, and Tom Flores knows. He said, we just missed it.
Full of happiness, full of happiness.
Yeah, 1st and 10. Myron. Plenty of time, now he starts to run. Gets back to about the 45-yard, just about to the line of scrimmage. Tackle made by Keith Rucker.
This is the first time I've had an opportunity to see the Seahawks this year, but they're playing very solid, very sound football, reacting very well to what they see, executing well, especially from a running standpoint. And Tom is doing a good job with the run part of it because he's protecting his quarterback.
That's right. You saw Myro checking off the list there on his wrist with the list of plays. Pickup of 1 yard, 2nd and 9. Here comes the reverse. Flying Blades. Tackle made by Eric Hill, a pickup of 10 yards.
Well, that's a good way to slow down the rush and the pursuit. You know, they chase and they chase and chase. They need something. Look at that defense chase. See, and all of a sudden they outrun the containment, and he does a good job of picking up yardage and a first down on the play. A lot of people have the mistaken impression that if you don't go for a touchdown on the reverse, it's not a good play, or a screen. It doesn't make a difference as long as you execute the play properly, make yardage on it. It does make a difference because it creates a burden on the defense.
And move the chains. Here's Chris Wall. He's going to move the chains again. Oh, my. Hank, when he runs a 40-yard dash, he runs like a 4.2, a 4.3 40-yard dash.
Yeah, look at the big holes we're seeing here this afternoon. The tackle on the guard pulling. Look at the nice hole, and he makes a good decision. When he got into the hole, picks up another nice gain in the play.
It's like you said many times before, you cannot arm tackle this man. He's had 11 rushes for 116 yards. You need plenty of help when he gets the ball. Meyer throws. Intended for Blades. It is incomplete.
Look at the 49ers are still sizzling. And that play action pass that time by Myers was a very poor fake. Very poor fake. Look at San Diego 17-7. Raiders 14-7. Tampa Bay gets back in the game. Take a look at the fake now. Look at how much space between the back and the quarterback. Too much room. Wouldn't sell anything. You got to be a good salesman on the play action fake. Put the ball in the pocket, take it out. And if the guy does a good job of faking, he should be tackled. Listen,
John L. Williams trying to throw. Intended for Paul Green. So John L. Williams, who this year was voted the offensive captain for the second straight year, tries to throw.
That looked like the last shot of the Roman candle. Look at this. There it is. Look at this. He doesn't know for sure. Throws it upside down. Good coverage on the play.
Coverage by Lorenzo Lynch.
And Lynch is a very good defensive back and a great tackler.
Yeah.
Good forceman.
4th and 1. 4:19 to go in the first half. The ball is given to Chris Warren. And of course, the Cardinals are saying he did not make it.
It looked like there was a little hesitation on the snap between the quarterback and the center. And as a result, it delayed the progress of the play a little bit. Maybe we'll get another look at that, see if that's what happened.
But Warren indeed did not make it, and the Cardinals will take over 1st and 10.
Let's watch the handoff. Yeah, you see yeah, he thought he dropped it, and as a result, it slowed down the process of the whole play. You see it?
Mm-hmm. And just that much cost him the first down.
Yeah, especially when you just need a few feet for a first down or a yard. You can't afford that kind of delay.
So we have 4 minutes and 14 seconds left to go in the first half, and Joe Bugle is, I'm sure, pleased with that because now it gives his offense the ball in decent field position. The Cardinals have the ball 1st and 10 at their own 35-yard line. The Cardinals trail the Seahawks 10-7.
We might see a reverse here.
There you go, Hank. You called it to Ricky Prohl, but of course, the Seahawks were thinking just like you. It's amazing. It's amazing the way you call this stuff, huh?
Oh, gosh. Boy, what a great reaction on the part of the defense. Look at this now. He's in motion. Goes beyond the tight end. Then he comes back around on the ring around the Rosie play. But look at the backside pursuit. They maintained good containment. Nobody chased. They came right up the field, and every time that happens, you've got no chance of that reverse.
Joe Nash and Jeff Bryant on the left side of that defensive line for Seattle.
Two veterans.
2nd and 13. Berline throws. Oh! That's Gary Clark. Oh, what a catch.
Well, that's a big league catch, I'll tell you. He had to come back for that one, and usually, because you got no help with the body, all hands, you don't catch that one very often.
I tell you what, Berline should take Clark out to dinner. Because you talk about a highlight all-pro catch.
Here we in. See, he squats in the void here. The ball is thrown a little bit outside after he settles, but he's still reaching. Now look at Berline, right about the time he got rid of the ball. He gets a little massage too and winds up in his pants.
It is 3rd and 1. Play action pass. Berline going down the far sideline. Knocked down by Eugene Robinson. The pass was intended for for Derek Ware. So Eugene Robinson almost had his second interception of the day. Do you agree with that particular call, play action pass like that?
Well, if it didn't work, I wouldn't agree with it. If it had worked, I would have thought it was great. But I think somebody, no, really, sincerely, I think somebody got a piece of him. He didn't have a chance to step and throw and follow through. Didn't have enough on the ball, and that's why it hung up there like a helicopter. Look at this. See the hand coming right in.
Oh.
See?
Or did he take a chop?
Yeah, he really got a hit, and as a result, it obstructed the shot on the arm.
On 4th and 1. That was 3rd. This is 4th. Tell you what, Kevin Murphy came up and looked like he tried to stop the first down attempt by Seattle.
There was no surge whatsoever. You talk about the defense coming off the ball better than the offense. That's what happened with Seattle, and that's what caused the missed first down. Well, that could be costly because now they've got good field position. I'm talking about the Seahawks, and they got a great opportunity to get some points. Side take off, and watch Blackman, number 25, come across. Look at that. He stops him there, and of course then Murphy comes in from the inside and cleans up and stops the play.
There's Blackman, who had a great effort then to stop Ron Moore from trying to get the first down.
Boy, that was really a big league play.
Oh, it really was. Taking out Garth Jacks.
Terrific.
1st and 10 at the 44 for Seattle. They lead Phoenix 10-7. Chris Warren again. Warren gets just about to the line of scrimmage, maybe picked up a half a yard. Tackle there made by Keith Rucker. You look at this Chris Warren, and you just can't help but be impressed more and more. And if it's true that running backs get better as the game goes on, you can imagine what his numbers might look like at the end of the game.
Well, you know, I've said this many times during the course of a game, but every great back that I've ever talked to in the league, they all say it takes 12 to 15 carries to get in the flow and rhythm of the game. And that's why they're so much better in the fourth quarter.
Well, if that's true, well, there's trouble ahead for the Cardinals. 2-minute warning. We'll be back. Left to go in the first half. Seattle leading Phoenix by a score of 10-7. Coming up on the NFL Today halftime report, Greg and Terry with all the scores, highlights, and latest information. So we've had a lot of action here in the first half, Hank.
Yeah, it's been a good game. It really has. And it's an illustration of, it doesn't make any difference what the record is. You still have to play the game, and you still have to play hard. That's what both teams are doing.
2nd and 10 at the 44 for Seattle. Myra, good protection. Throw is complete to John L. Williams. It pops up, and it is ruled a dead ball where he went down about the 35, 36-yard line.
Boy, good touch that time by Myra. Terrific touch.
Now, Hank, this is football right here. You like this?
That's his hit.
Oh, yeah. That'll cause you to go get some Excedrin at the end of the day. 3rd and 2. Ball at the 36-yard line. Comes back to Chris Warren again. Warren gets to about the 34-yard line.
Lynch did a good job that time. He got knocked to the outside, then came back in and helped make the tackle for the backside, number 29.
Michael Zordich, number 38, also in on the tackle. 1:34 left to go in the first half. The Seahawks leading the Cardinals by a score of 10-7. Seattle now with 3 wide receivers in the game. And the handoff to Warren. He's just bowling his way over folks, Hank. 1:17 left to go. Seahawks leading the Cardinals 10-7. Somebody's going to go to the party and somebody's going to go home.
Somebody's going to have a little recess and then go right into the playoff.
There you go. 2nd and 4 at 28. The 28-yard line of the Cardinals. Good poise by Mark. Flag is down, throws. This is complete to Blades, still on his feet. Blades gets down to about the 13-yard line, but once again there is a flag on the play. You really have to admire Myra then and the poise he continues to show despite the holding penalty.
Yeah, even on that shot. See, look how cool, calm, and collected he was. Very poised, and still got the pass off, but there was a holding penalty on the play.
76 offense, 10 yards from the previous spot. Repeat second down.
Here we see it again now. Watch the right guard on the left side of the screen. He's the one that's holding on the play. Look at all the time he's got. Good. He maintains good control and possession, dumps the ball off, but there's a penalty on the play. And it's called back.
That was against Billy Hitchcock. He didn't have to hold, Hank.
No.
He has a black belt in karate. No sense in him holding anyone.
Yeah, but he can't do that unless he's got the belt on.
Yeah, that's true. 2nd and 14. Warren again. Oh, he almost just ran over Robert Massey. Yeah. Massey's down on his hands and knees, and Warren is just nonchalantly walking on back to the huddle.
Yeah, like somebody threw a marshmallow at him.
That's right. You know, you were right when you were talking to Tom Flores, and he says he can start to see the light at the end of the tunnel as far as his Seahawk team is concerned, because they do have a very young team.
Well, they have, and I think he's, as I mentioned earlier in the show, he's doing the right thing the right way, and he's a very, very patient guy, understanding. He'll blow a fuse every once in a while, but basically he's under control.
Intended for John L. Williams, and it is incomplete. You know, you talk about this Seahawk team and how young they are. They have 7 number 1 draft choices, 6 number 2s, 19 free agents, 36 players with 5 years or less experience on this team.
Well, here again, you know, coaching is 3 things: accumulating talent, assessing talent, and making the talent play and win. And that's exactly the formula that he's on schedule, and he's doing a good job in that category.
4th and 5. This will be a field goal attempt of 47 yards for John Kassay. John Kassay, and from this distance, he is 2 of 4 so far this year. High enough, and it is good. So the Seahawks increase their lead to 13-7.
Somebody that isn't used to receiving a kickoff might stumble around and fall and maybe create a fumble situation. Or the other course is you want to kick it up in the air as high as you can in good coverage and make the guy maybe make a fumble, make a mistake, and recover and still give a chance for a field goal. Let's see what they choose to do.
With 54 seconds left to go in the first half. Michael Bates has put on a shield there. Coach, you can see after getting a finger stuck in his eye, he has a little protection on right now. But he's doing the latter, Hank. He's kicking it high and deep.
He can get high.
This is Johnny Bailey at the 2. He gets to about the 14-yard line, and that is it for him as he goes down. 50 seconds now left to go in the first half. That tackle made by Freddie Joe Nunn. So now Steve Berline, you know, it's amazing. The Cardinals have struggled and struggled. They've shown some sparks of coming to life, but they only trail by a score of 13-7.
Yeah, that's just one play away from being back in business.
And as we all know, they can strike in a hurry. As
they can. That's right. They certainly can.
Threw a touchdown pass to Randall Hill. Hill coming to the bottom of the screen, along with Ricky Prohl and Gary Clark at the top. 3 wide receivers in now for the Cardinals. Berline across the middle to Larry Centers. Centers tries to dive for enough yardage for the first down, but he is a little short. 40 seconds left to go. Cardinals trying to hurry up and get downfield, but there is a stoppage of the clock right now. One of the Seattle players is walking off very slowly. That's Antonio Edwards, number 67.
40-second timeout.
So the score is 13-7 here. They're the final scores from the rest of the day so far. Highlights, more scores coming up at halftime with Greg and Terry back in New York. It's really amazing, Hank, sometimes, and it's happened to me. You know, you get hit in the head, and the trainer comes out and he asks you who you are, where you are. A bunch of silly questions, and you don't know the answer to any of them.
You talk about a silly question. I went out, we were playing the Jets one year, and I ran out in the field. Our Mike Garrett, you know, our great little back from Southern California, Heisman winner, athletic director now of Southern California. He runs a sweep in front of our bench. and he got hurt on the play, and I ran out, and I said, "Where'd you get hurt, Mike? Where'd you get hurt?" He said, "Right here where I'm laying." So you never know what they're going to say.
Oh, gee. But we're happy to see that he is walking off on his own power. There are hundreds of stories like that around the National Football League, and that's just one of them. 37 seconds left to go in the first half. Seahawks leading the Cardinals 13-7.
Cardinals are still very, very much in this game. Seahawks have dominated, but they're still in the game.
Tries to deliver the ball and gets it hit. The ball is loose.
And I think it was Cortez Kennedy that knocked the ball down. Got a tipped piece of the ball. I couldn't tell for sure.
And Tua Tagovailoa comes up with the fumble recovery.
Yeah, I thought, let's see what happens here. Let's see if that's who it was. Kennedy is 96. That might have been 95. I don't know. Let's see.
He just flubbed it. That's 72, Michael McCarry. And Tua Tagovailoa comes up with
That's what
the fumble
happened.
recovery. And it looked like he, he had it in his hand and maybe he got hit down low and just lost grip on it.
That's what he did. Lost control of the ball.
And so now the Seahawks have the ball. 28 seconds left to go in the first half. First and goal at the 5.
Be a good time for a play action right here.
But they're going to pass instead. No play action involved. Meyer into the end zone. It is too high and wide for Blades.
So you got a better chance for the play action. They've been running the ball very, very well. You're going to hold some people because they expect on first down you might run the ball. And as a result, the play action would have been super. But it's easy to look at that from up here and make those kind of calls.
Fritz Schirmer, fine defensive coordinator for the Phoenix Cardinals.
One of the best in the business.
He came up with the new defense that they have, the big nickel.
Oh, sure. He's been a terrific coach in the National Football League.
Myers 4 of 12 for 68 yards. This is Warren. Down to the 1. John L. Williams. John L. Williams is running the ball down to the 1-yard line. And of course, John L. he was a former #1 draft choice. Has a little smile on his face.
Yeah, and he's caught a lot of balls. He hasn't run the ball nearly as much as he used to, but he's catching a lot of balls.
He has 2 rushing touchdowns so far this year. He's caught 1 pass for a touchdown so far. And as you know, as we talked about, he was voted the captain of the offense for the 2nd consecutive year. And it's kind of unusual. Or is it unusual to vote for a running back as your offensive captain?
Yeah, it really is. You don't see that happen very often. You really don't. You see a lineman. Usually a quarterback will be one of the captains. But very rarely do you have a running back as a captain.
So Rick Meyer, who has started every game for the Seahawks this year, has an opportunity now to put them on the scoreboard again with 15 seconds left to go in the first half. It's 3rd and goal at the 1. John L. Williams and Chris Warren in the backfield. Play action, like you called, Hank. Into the end zone for a touchdown. Farrell Edmonds.
Let's take a look at the fake now. Still not a good fake, but it held the linebacker in good shape. The outside linebacker was coming on the play. Watch Myers' reaction on the play.
Oh, yeah.
You bet. Yep.
Well, once again, Coach, you're right on the mark. That's what'll get him in there.
Well, that play action is tough down in here because, they got the option, meaning when you say play action, you got the option of the run or the pass, so they have to dig in tough to stop the run first. If they do that, take a sniff of that fake, why you got a chance for the touchdown.
And Casey's extra point is good. 10 seconds left to go in the first half. Now you talk about young men that have come in and helped to turn a team around. Last year, the Seahawks were 2-14, and look at what they are. Look at where they are right now this year. And the comparisons. You think he's in some pretty good company?
Oh yeah, he has big league company in it.
Well,
it surely is.
Well, they think he's going to be a big-time player, and he's off to a big-time start in his rookie season in the National Football League.
Yeah, he's smooth as silk. There's no question about that. I can't get over how much poise he has.
You know, we talked to him yesterday. You know, he was talking about he doesn't have a particular go-to guy. He likes to spread the wealth around. He was very cool when we talked to him, very calm.
Well, the nice thing about that is a lot of times if you're not careful, especially a young quarterback will have predetermined feelings about who he's going to throw the ball to before the ball is snapped. See, and if the guy's covered or not, he's still going to throw the ball. If you're open-minded about it and hit the open man, evidently that's what he's doing, then he's going to do a much better job because he's just going to hit, just wing it, and whoever's open, he's going to throw the ball to it.
Well, he is their man of the future. And for them, they want to have their future right now. And right now, with 10 seconds left to go in the first half, the Seahawks lead the Cardinals by a score of 20-7. Anthony Edwards and Johnny Bailey back to receive Casey's kickoff. Low line drive. Bailey at the 9. Stiff arms and is brought down and goes out of bounds at the 35-yard line. 5 seconds left to go in the first half. So mistakes, as we all know oh so well. You know, sometimes people talk about this game, Hank, and they say it's the execution that is the most difficult. The game is simple. It's the execution that is the part that causes so many problems.
Well, it's always going to be the same game. I don't care how what the time frame is as far as years are concerned. It's always going to be the same game: blocking, tackling, and execution. That's all it is. Emotional intensity on the part of the players, but that's what the game's all about.
And so Beuerlein takes the snap and goes down on one knee, and that will end the first half of play. That is the end of the first half with the score: Seattle 20, Phoenix 7.
CBS Sports coverage of the National Football League is sponsored by Oldsmobile, Budweiser, Beechwood Age for a crisp, clean, classic taste. The people at Nike who encourage you to just do it.
Really a surprise, because both of those teams have great backs, and they have both done a good job of running the football. It's a surprise that Phoenix hasn't run better, but it's a great compliment to the...
CBS Sports coverage of the National Football League is sponsored by Oldsmobile, Budweiser, Beechwood Age for a crisp, clean, classic taste. The people at Nike who encourage you to just do it.
Really a surprise, because both of those teams have great backs, and they have both done a good job of running the football. It's a surprise that Phoenix hasn't run better, but it's a great compliment to the Seattle Seahawks defense.
And the quarterback comparisons. You have a Beuerlein 12 of 23, 183 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. Rick Mirer 5 of 13, 69 yards and 1 TD. But when you think about the running, and that is the big difference, you have to think about Chris Warren, who has gone over 1,000 yards in rushing today, and what an outstanding job he's done.
Well, he's just been fantastic, and I didn't expect that. I heard about him, but I hadn't had a chance to see him, but he's been amazing.
Okay, it is Michael Bates back to receive the kickoff to begin the second half. Bates, 1 yard deep in the end zone. Gets into trouble at the 10 and gets to about the 11-yard line. And that's where they will take over 1st and 10. You know, we talked about Chris Warren and the outstanding day that he's had so far. Here's that 45-yard touchdown run.
Watch the run here now. Williams did a good job of blocking on the play. Look at Warren go all the way in there for the touchdown. Terrific execution on the play. Great blocking at the point of attack.
Warren in the first half, 16 rushes for 133 yards and 1 touchdown that you just saw of some 45 yards.
The other thing that's been a big factor in this game is the field position. In the first half, Phoenix had to go 80 on every one of their drives, and Seattle only 56.
Here's Warren getting his first carry of the second half. gets across the 10 to about the 11-yard line. Reuben Davis in on the tackle for Phoenix.
Yeah, I was surprised to see that picture. I didn't even know they took pictures way back then.
Oh yeah, Hank. We were sitting on that one for 2 days, hoping you wouldn't find out about it. And then you've been talking about it for 2 days, and people are saying, "Oh no, that's what we're going to show him." But it worked out good.
Yeah, that's a great picture. Seeing Tom in the picture too.
Was that the best call you ever made?
That was a good one. That was a good one.
One of many. Here's Myra, slides up to the 15-yard line on second down. We're just beginning the second half of play from here in the Kingdome. Seahawks jumped out to a 7-0 lead on Chris Warren's 45-yard touchdown run. Then John Casey kicked a 37-yard field goal to make it 10-0. The Cardinals came back. Berline to Randall Hill, 58-yard touchdown pass, made it 10-7. Seattle kicked another field goal. Meyer to Edmonds, and it's now 20-7.
Now Phoenix has to keep him in the goulash here to get good field position on the play.
Good defense. Excellent defense by John Booty.
Yeah, that was a terrific job and a good rush on the play by Freddie Joe DeMont.
Pass was intended for Rob Thomas.
Came right through him. I don't know where that right hand was, but evidently he didn't hold on the play or give him a shove in the back on the play.
So Rick Tootin is in to kick now to punt on fourth down. Johnny Bailey. Good, another good high long punt. Bailey at the 33. Whoa! Still loose. Seahawks have it. Michael Bates. Flags down. Joe Bugle has to just want to.
That's frustrating.
Oh, gee.
You do what you have to do. You stop them. You're going to wind up with good field position, and then you turn it over on the play.
So now we will wait for referee Ron Blum to sort it all out.
Tom is really massaging that gum, isn't he?
Oh, he's done that for a long time.
Fumble recovered by the kicking team. On the return by the kickers, there's a 5-yard face mask. Number 85, Phoenix, 5 yards from the end of the run, first down.
The penalty against Derek Ware. Now here's Johnny Bailey on the return.
And now he's coming through and makes a decision, goes right through the pile, but the ball just slipped right out of there.
He just lost it.
He didn't have good control of it at all. And Ware now, there's a face mask. Derek Ware, number 85.
And it's a good thing Bates had that shield on, because that would have been the second time today he would have gotten stuck in the eyes or the face.
I went to a high school game and saw the game, and they had a face mask penalty, and the guy said it was a gum grabber penalty.
That's Chris Warren on the carry. Tackle made by Reuben Davis and Eric Hill. 13 minutes left to go in the third quarter. The Seahawks have a 20-7 lead over the Cardinals. Tracy Johnson, number 43, is in the backfield now with Chris Warren in the Seahawk backfield. That's the man Warren again. Michael Zordich in on the tackle for the Cardinals.
Watch Williams. Williams makes a great block. Look at this good shot right there. No, it wasn't. I thought it was 42. It was 43. Made a great block on the play. And Warren does a good job of picking his way through the hole and making yardage on the play.
Good block there by Tracy Johnson.
Boy, Tracy really got a good block.
Oh, he really did. He just put Lorenzo Lynch right on his backside. 3rd and 1 at the 32 of Phoenix. That's a first down for Warren. It's almost like it's automatic now.
There's a time to keep the head up and look for someplace to go. There's other times where you got to put it down in traffic. Look at that. he gives him a little butt job and takes another 3 yards or 4 yards on the play. That's the great thing about the great running backs. Really have the great capacity to make yardage after the first hit. That's how really you determine how good a running back really is.
He's been running all afternoon and probably will continue to do so. There he is again. Oh, hit right at the line of scrimmage. Reuben Davis, number 93.
I'm really surprised at the way this big defensive line of the Cardinals is being pushed around here. There's some tremendous holes in there in some of those runs.
Yeah, it's really amazing because when we talked to Reuben yesterday, he said, we just want to take care of business, get a victory, and go on back home.
Now, Reuben Davis did a good job there of containing the tackle, using his hands and coming into the inside, shedding the blocker, and making the tackle. Great play by Reuben Davis.
2nd and 8 at the 24. Our throws going into the end zone, and it is incomplete. Intended for Paul Green. You know, the other thing about Reuben Davis yesterday, Hank, remember he said he thinks that this Phoenix Cardinal team is just like the Dallas Cowboys the year before they started to win big.
Well, you know, you never know when that's going to take place. The big thing is you just got to make sure that you're playing good, playing hard, and making things happen, and that's what you have to do. And you don't know when. See, the big thing is you can't lose in bunches, and but you gotta win in bunches. You see, and that's what happens. If you don't win in bunches, why you got a problem, and especially if you lose in bunches.
On 3rd down, here's the reverse. This is Blades again. He gets hit at the 22-yard line and immediately goes into the other direction. Chuck Cecil, and we all know about his reputation as a hitter coming over from the Green Bay Packers.
Cecil really used the shoulder pads on this play. Watch Cecil, number 26. Boy, that's a leather popping there, isn't it?
You better believe it.
Cecil really came in there, good control, good balance. Nice and low and made the good hit on the play, number 26.
John Casey will attempt a 39-yard field goal now. He is perfect from 30 to 39 yards so far this season. Snaps a little high.
No good.
And it is off to the left. 9:50 to go in the 3rd quarter. We'll be back. Now scores of today. We've seen them before earlier today. And these are all finals. And the score here at the Kingdome. The Seahawks leading the Cardinals by a score of 20-7. 1st and 10 for Phoenix. All at their own 22-yard line.
They got bump and run. They got to try to get the ball up on top some too.
But instead they hand off. It's Moore again.
They got plenty of time. They just got to make plays. They have to make plays when they got the opportunity.
Tua Tagovailoa was in on the tackle. He already has 1 fumble recovery. But it is, you know, you said they still have plenty of time, but are you kind of surprised that they aren't trying to attack the 2 new starting corners?
Well, you know what they're doing? They're not letting them attack the corners, as you know, Jim, because they're playing a lot of double zone. And as a result, it's hard to get the ball to the corners, which means that you got to throw the ball to the fullback and also a halfback or the tight end.
So the defenses are allowed to protect.
Yeah. That's right.
And to cover up those corners.
Yeah, they're trying to protect their weakness.
Here's Berline going deep. The Ricky Prohl. It's intercepted. Robert Blackman.
See, that's the one thing you can't try to do and get it back all at one time and get it back quickly. You have to take it if it's there.
And if you can read lips, you know that Steve Berline is warm under the collar.
Play. We'll see him come into the picture. Blackman is a safety covering deep. McLuhan is covering short. McLuhan is chasing. Look at the ball that's thrown short. And of course, Blackman makes the interception. And now it has 1st and 10 again for Seattle.
And not a very good pass at all.
No, it's a bad pass.
Yep.
And I'm surprised he would throw it into that double coverage.
Yep. Here's Myers. Short pass. Farrell Edmonds, who has a touchdown reception so far today, gets the ball to about the 45-yard line. 8 minutes and 40 seconds left to go in the 3rd quarter. Farrell Edmonds, 6'6", 254, big target. but they don't throw to him that much. And I know a lot of teams really would like to have a good tight end that they could really take a lot of pressure off some of the wide receivers.
Yeah, you need to with all the zones. Now they're playing a lot of zone now. Of course, they would be with their being ahead like they are. Boy, that Lynch came up again, made a good tackle on Warren. And he's a tough kid.
Oh, yeah. And Warren now says, I think I need a breather.
That's right.
But as we were told by Joe Bugle yesterday, you know, Lorenzo Lynch is really his best hitter in that secondary.
He's terrific.
He's only 5'11", but I'm sure that his mental approach to the game is like someone who's 6'6".
Yeah, and he hits like he's 215.
Yeah. 3rd and 5. Meyer throws. Complete. Rob Thomas. And they just put the shotgun in for Rick Meyer. I guess it was a couple of weeks ago, and we talked about it earlier, and I'm sure this helps him to see defenses a lot faster.
Well, I think the other thing, see, they're playing at home, and they know that it's not going to disturb him here with the noise, because the crowd is not going to holler and scream and yell when they've got the ball. So now, had he gone to another city or some dome stadium someplace, they probably wouldn't have used it because of the noise. See? So I'm sure it's a combination of both. Plus, he likes it very much and feels very confident.
Good play action fake. Throw. Complete. John L. Williams. Tackled by John Booty there along with Ruben Davis.
That's the best play action fake he's had all afternoon. It was a very good fake.
John Rucker in also, Keith Rucker.
Compared to what happened. Watch the defense, see what it does. See, he puts it in a good fake. See, look at everybody's on the ground. Look at all the time he's got to throw the ball. Receiver pops open, but that was a good selling job on the part of the quarterback and also the back. You got to be a salesman and do a good job on screens, play action passes.
He's a salesman, man. He's making a lot of commission today so far.
That's right.
Warren again, still on his feet. Ball comes loose. The referees are ruling that the ball is down. Lorenzo Lynch has the ball. He laterals it back. But it is ruled that he was down at the 37-yard line. Or did they rule it a fumble? Now they're ruling that they're giving it the ball to the Phoenix Cardinals, Hank.
I wonder what prompted that. It did look.
We'll sort it all out.
We'll sort it out in a minute.
Yeah, come right back right after this.
He circles Zordich on the play. Watch him come up and make the tackle. He makes a good hit here. The ball pops out. See, and his knee didn't hit the ground. It hit a person, but not the ground. As a result, recovered by the Phoenix Cardinals.
So Lorenzo Lynch came up and lateraled the ball back to Chris Oldham. But now there's a flag on the play. Beuerlein completes a pass to Gary Clark, tackled by Eugene Robinson. That's a pickup of 17 yards. But once again, there is a flag on the play. Beuerlein then did the right thing, knowing that there was a flag on the play, went on and went through with the play, hoping that he could get a big gainer out of it, and he did.
Offside,
got a freebie.
67 defense. That penalty is declined. First down.
That's why it's important for the players not to try to officiate the game. Just do the job, do what you're supposed to do, and they'll determine whether they bring the ball back or whether it's a first down.
Wouldn't you agree that this is a time Phoenix has got to make their move?
Yeah, they definitely have to. They have to get a touchdown. They have to get some points on this drive.
Johnny Bailey and Larry Centers in the backfield now for the Cardinals.
See if they go up on top again on the outside. Look at McLuhan. He's playing outside, which means he's going to force him inside. It could be a zone.
This is a screen to Bailey, though. Still on his feet. Johnny Bailey down inside the 35 to the 34-yard line. That's a pickup of 14 yards tackle there made by Terry Wooden.
You know, when you look at the secondary and you see the corner up on the receiver, but he's outside of the receiver, that means it's going to be a zone in all probability. He's going to force him inside to the safety if he tries to go deep. Good running on the part of Bailey.
That's enough yardage for the first down. Johnny Bailey in his fourth year out of Texas A&I. 5 minutes, 28 seconds to go in the third quarter.
Look at that left side, receiver on the left side. Look how much room he's got over there.
That's exactly where he goes. Right to Gary Clark.
That's what you got to do. You got to take advantage of opportunities when you see them. That's really like stealing. You know, he's back there deep. All you got to do is go down and hitch in front of him or square out in front of him, and you're going to make 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 yards. Plus the fact he might miss the tackle, just like they did in the Super Bowl game against Otis Taylor.
That's right. Now there is an additional penalty against Seattle.
5-yard face mask, 26 defense, and force from the end of the run, first down.
That against Carlton Gray.
See, here's the face mask right here. Watch him grab around here. There it is, right there. It gets the mask. Good call on the part of the officials.
Move the chains.
That's right. And, you know, they don't. A lot of teams don't throw that often enough. They give it to you. Well, you got to take it.
This is Ron Moore. Moore gets to the 20-yard line, and he's pushed backwards. Kevin Murphy in on the tackle for Seattle.
That was a badly executed play. Bad timing. Lyman didn't get out in time. Looked like they missed the count. Very bad execution on the last play.
4.5 minutes to go in the third quarter. The Cardinals trying to get on the scoreboard with their second touchdown of the afternoon as they trail 20-7.
They got to get it in there.
Berline gone.
There it is again. See?
That's Gary Clark still on his feet. You did. Clark into the end zone. Touchdown Phoenix. Hank, you've done it again.
Well, that's, you know, it's so obvious, and it's just hard to understand why they don't do it more often. Because there's nothing more simple. You're always trying to get a one-on-one. He had a one-on-one. You get the one-on-one, take advantage of it.
Especially when you have wide receivers that can turn a short play into a long gainer.
That's right. Who have the ability to run well once they make the catch. Look at this. Now he's got to come back inside because he was close to the sideline. Does a good job of protecting the ball, and Clark goes in for the touchdown. Now they're back in business again.
That's right. That's Clark's 8th reception of the day for 107 yards and 1 touchdown reception. Now Greg Davis in. And the extra point conversion is good. 4:12 left to go in the third quarter. It is 20-14 Seahawks.
Now, artistically, this is very well executed on play. Go to about 10 yards, cuts to the outside, comes back for the ball, goes to the outside, comes back inside, smells the goal line, goes in there for the touchdown, and Carlton Gray is covering on the play.
Greg Davis's kickoff. This is Michael Bates 1 yard deep in the end zone. He finds a hole. He's across the 25 to the 26-yard line. And that's where Seattle will take over 1st and 10. So Gary Clark displaying some of the moves and the intensity he had when he was with the Redskins.
Well, he's an old pro. He knows how to run patterns, and of course, he doesn't have great speed. And usually people who do not have great speed are very good move guys because they know to get open they have to really be very precise with the move. The fast guys think they can always get by with speed, and the moves they make aren't quite as precise.
Well, Carlton Gray can attest to his moves this afternoon. Meyer on 1st down. This is complete to John L. Williams. Lorenzo Lynch on the tackle for the Cardinals.
I can't get over the way Myra stays in that pocket. He's not disturbed at all by the rush. He's not influenced at all by the rush. He stays in the pocket, steps up, follows through, got rid of the ball nicely, and gets rid of the ball kind of high. He really has got a delivery a little bit like Montana.
You know, a lot of people try to make those comparisons. Went to Notre Dame, wore number 3. He says, no, I don't want any part of that now. Warren. Across the 30. He picks up about 3 or 4 yards.
They got a good push in the line that time again. I think somewhere along the line they maybe will be blitzing more to stop that run a little bit better than they've been able to with that four-man line.
That's right. And knowing Fred Shermer the way that you do, Myra's been getting so much time to pass. Maybe they should put a little more heat on it.
Yeah, they got to change it up a little bit. And as a young quarterback, we give him a lot of credit for poise, but you still got to earn the right. Good push on the outside, but see, there's no push in the middle.
Yeah.
tackles are getting no push whatsoever off the line of scrimmage.
Incomplete again for John L. Williams. But like you said, he's just standing there with all the time he wants.
Yeah, and he knows that it's going to be a zone. He knows that it's going to be just a four-man rush, and so he's just like sitting in a rocking chair back there with plenty of time to throw the ball. He's got to get some pressure, especially inside from those two big tackles.
And the more confidence a young man like that gets, the better he becomes.
No question about that. Same with punters. You know, you let them punt all afternoon, never rush them. That's easy.
That's Rick Tootin. Back to punt now for Seattle. Johnny Bailey, who has one fumble on the punt return, and he has another one coming up here. Trey Junkin in on the tackle for Phoenix Cardinals. A punt of 51 yards and a return of 7. 2:46 left to go in the third. Google has had pressure on him all year long, and he knows the final 2 or 3 weeks of the regular season will determine his future.
This is going to be a very important drive. It's going to be interesting to see if they have enough poise and confidence and can execute well enough to take the ball with this field position like it is and march down the field and be patient, do what they have to do, execute. They're just one play away from getting back in this game.
That's right.
Got to do it here. This would be a great drive if they're going to get that done.
8 losses by 7 points or less. And right now they trail by 6. 20-14.
They ought to throw it to the receiver on the right side here.
But instead they give the ball to Ron Moore, and he goes nowhere.
See, that time they were rotating to the right side. The defense, McClellan 44, was way off the ball. Just play catch out there. Throw the ball out there to him, let him catch it, and get some yardage on the play.
It's that old saying, just take whatever they give you.
That's right. That's exactly what they gave him. They surely didn't give him much on that one.
Except a handful of Tua Tagovailoa and Cortez Kennedy.
Cortez Kennedy was right there as the reception committee on the play.
Berline throws. Into and out of the hands of Randall Hill. Kevin Murphy defending for Seattle.
I tell you that Cortez Kennedy is smoking. He's coming off the ball a lot better than he was early in the game.
Well, this is the time you really have to turn it up a notch. This is that stage of the game where you have to make your move. Now, the offense for Seattle has been making their moves, and now it's time for their defense to make their move. And vice versa for the Cardinals. 3rd and 9. To Randall Hill.
There it is outside again, you see. McClellan was off the ball that time, very deep, and he ran down the field, ran an out pattern, and watch the outside receiver here now. 81, look at this. Look at McClellan. He's still in his back pedal, comes back to make the catch. Very good move on his part to come back and catch the ball.
One of the things that we don't see a lot of, in the NFL these days is repeating plays over and over and over again until they correct it.
Now they got the same thing on the left side. Look at all the room on the left side. Throw it over there now this time. Throw it out there.
It's to Larry Centers. Still on his feet across the 40. Centers gets to the 43-yard line. Tackle made by Terry Wooden.
They're doing a good job of moving the football that time, mixing up the run and the pass, and that time was a screen. But he's really got to be aware of what those corners are doing, and the minute they're off there 8, 9, 10 yards, they got to throw the ball in front of them.
I remember where teams would flip-flop their receivers and work on the same corner for maybe 2 or 3 consecutive plays.
Well, that's right. You got to take what you got available for you, and not waste plays by not taking advantage of it.
Now we have Gary Clark over here defended by McClellan.
That's right. Safety's running the inside.
And they run it back. This time it's Ron Moore again. Don't like that call, huh?
Nope, heard it.
I mean, you got them on the run. You got the defensive backs sitting back on their heels and thinking about the deep pass right now.
Well, why take the skateboard when you can take the Concorde?
Yeah. It's more comfortable that way.
That's right. And you get up above all the traffic, too.
You better believe it. 40 seconds left to go in the third quarter. Seattle leading the Cardinals 20-14.
Well, look at it here again on the right corner. Look at all the room you got again. Unless they change, the corner comes up. No, he's still playing soft outside. There it is, boys.
Randall Hill, great job of concentrating on the ball.
That's right.
I'm sorry, Gary Clark, number 84,
Right.
who had flip-flopped on this side. Yep. But there is a flag on the play. Clark made the reception. Ball popped loose. But being the feisty veteran that he is.
61 offense, 10 yards from the previous spot. Repeat first down.
Boy, that's murder.
Yep, Lance Smith.
Here we see an end zone shot of it. Berline looking, right guard doing the holding on the play. Smith.
Okay, Hank, it's first and 20. Keep on doing it.
Now, they haven't run many draws. The ends are kind of wide. There's a time in here someplace where they got to throw the ball. You see, they're doubling the outside people on that one.
That was Johnny Bailey.
Yeah.
That's the end of the third quarter with the score: Seattle 20, Phoenix 14. Our coverage will continue after this message from your local station. You're watching the NFL on CBS. Prominently in the future of their respective teams.
Yeah, and it's easy to understand why they regard them so highly, both teams, because they're both very outstanding quarterbacks. And again, people know about Berline. It's really interesting to watch this kid play for the Seahawks because he's really a good one.
We're finding out about Myra this afternoon, but right now we're going to find out about Berline. Second down, throws, complete to Ricky Proehl, and he has speed and on the move. Proehl into Seahawk territory. Does a little high step and is knocked out of bounds at the 31-yard line. That's a pickup of 34 yards.
And Berline did a good job of hanging tough in the pocket. He's a great competitor. And look at the pressure he's got now. Watch this. Proehl comes across from the left side to the right side. Does a good job of trying to make a change of pace move here to maybe make the guy miss. He doesn't, however. And look at Berline, look at the pressure. He steps right in the pocket, steps up just far enough to get rid of the football. That's great concentration.
First and 10 at the 31. Berline to Johnny Bailey. He's still on his feet inside the 25. He gets down to the 22-yard line. That tackle made by Ray Berry.
For the 49ers.
Kansas City has come from behind. Look at that. And the Raiders are hanging on against Tampa Bay. Can you imagine what the Raiders are saying if they look up at the scoreboard and see how Kansas City has come back after being down so far?
That's right.
Berline is 20 of 34 for 302 yards so far today. Second and 1. Bailey. First down. 16-yard line of the Seahawks.
They ran a trap that time, unusual, but they ran a trap and got a big cavity there. Good running room, and they pick up the first down by Bailey.
So now they're starting to show more variety.
Well, the nice thing about it is, too, they're showing a lot of poise. So you get behind that, if you're not careful, you take the gas pipe, and you start doing a lot of crazy things, take chances. Next thing you know, instead of being down by 14, you're down by 28.
Phoenix with 3 wide receivers. Berline throws. Larry Centers. And Larry Centers scores. 16 yards, and like you say, Hank, they were very, very patient.
And very methodical. They didn't lose their poise. They knew what they had to do, and they got it done. That's a great drive. It's going to be very important to this team to come back like they did.
And with the extra point conversion, Phoenix will have a 1-point lead.
Watch Centers. He's lined up in the backfield, just runs a flat pattern. The linebacker on the inside, nobody around him. Yeah, he goes into the end zone. You better wait till he celebrates till he crosses that line before he starts walking the dog.
That's right. Or he'll be in the doghouse.
Right.
Greg Davis in now. And amazingly, the Phoenix Cardinals have come back and they lead 21-20. have come back to lead the Seattle Seahawks 21-20 after falling behind. The game summary, Chris Warren's running helped Seattle to take an early lead. Career high in rushing, 158 yards, but Steve Berline has come back and done a wonderful job. 3 touchdown passes, and that's the reason.
And the other thing is very important. They had much better field position than they had earlier in the game, because remember, we talked about that earlier. They had to go 80 yards in every drive in the first half.
And now Davis is kicked off. This is Michael Bates at the goal line for the Seahawks. It goes out of bounds. Derek Ware in on the tackle for the Cardinals, and you can really feel and sense how Phoenix feels now that they've really turned the tide in their favor.
Well, that's great motivation. That's really a confidence builder when you can take the ball like they did and go all the way down the field and score a touchdown. That's a big league drive.
Do you think now we'll see how much young Mr. Myra has matured so far this year, now that he's behind for the first time this afternoon?
Well, that could be, but I tell you, he showed me a lot of maturity doing what he did in the first part of the game without being behind. I don't think he'll change any. Look, his demeanor is such where you get the impression that it's not going to make any difference. He's going to still keep sawing wood and doing the right things.
Putting it on the fireplace, and now Michael Bates walks off. It's the second time he's been injured this afternoon. He has taken off his face guard. No, he still has the face guard on, but now he's limping. Earlier today, he got a finger stuck in his eye.
Well, I tell you, he's a great specialty team guy, and they have high hopes and expectations for him as a receiver.
But the ball went out of bounds, and the Seahawks will maintain possession. 1st and 10 at their own 14.
Now the defense for the Cardinals have to do something.
This is Blaze. And Anesius Williams tries to take the ball away from Blaze, but it does not work. And it seems now is that as Williams is limping off the field, and that could really hurt the Cardinals to lose their starting cornerback as Chris Oldham comes in. Seems now like Myra is trying to do what Berline did a little while ago. Just take whatever they give you.
That's right. Because they're not gonna give you anything deep, and especially with the coverage like it is, you can tell when they double, they stay outside. They're going to double cover you, so the inside should be there.
That was not good news with Williams limping like that. But here come the Seahawks once again. Chris Warren again, the ball carrier. We have 12 minutes and 10 seconds left to go in the 4th quarter, and the Cardinals lead the Seahawks by a score of 21-20. Steve Berline has thrown 3 touchdown passes so far this afternoon for over 300 yards.
Well, you're going to see which of the two lines, offensively or defensively, are going to rise to the occasion and make the play they have to.
This is Warren again. Now you can see where the Cardinals are starting to get led by Eric Hill on the tackle there. Look, they have like 3, 4, 5 people around the ball carrier now.
Yeah, that's the difference. They weren't doing that early in the game, and now they're playing better, much better defensively.
So it will be 2nd and 10, all at the 27-yard line. Eric Hill, who Joe Bugel says is the finest inside linebacker in pro football, needs to step up his pace just a little bit more now. Myra throws. Oh! That was almost a headache ball for John L. Williams, and Robert Massey almost had an interception. A lot of almost, but nothing.
Incomplete forward pass.
That's what it amounts to, yeah.
Here we see the replay, thrown out in the flat. Thrown a little bit to the inside, or else he might have had a chance to make that interception.
Coach, Hank should have... Massey should have gone at either the ball or the receiver.
Right.
Make contact with one of them.
One of the two.
Myra down the middle, intended for Blades, and it is incomplete. And guess who came back in after limping out? Anesius Williams. The 49ers are continuing to roll right along. Look at that. We mentioned Kansas City's comeback. After San Diego led early, the Raiders holding off Tampa Bay. The Buccaneers have nothing to lose and everything to gain.
And they're a dangerous team because they got some good speed on the outside, good firepower.
You better believe it. Now Rick Tootin is in to punt for Seattle. Johnny Bailey back to receive for the Cardinals. Oh, good high punt. Bailey at the 22. Still on his feet. Gets up to about the 39-yard line. That's where the Cardinals will take over first and 10. A 51-yard punt and a return of 19. 10:54 left to go in the fourth quarter. With the score 21-20, Phoenix over Seattle. You're looking at the beautiful Cascade Mountains here in the Pacific Northwest. It won't be long before we'll be looking at the Olympic Mountains in Lillehammer, Norway. The Winter Olympics coming to CBS Sports.
Look at the right side again. There it is again. Look at all the room on the right side, the flanker on the right side, or somebody on the right side.
Beuerlein looks to his right, throws. Almost intercepted by Robert Blackman. The pass was intended for Ricky Proehl.
See, I don't understand. The back is so deep. You can't throw the ball deep on that kind of coverage. You got to throw it in front. Look at all the room. You still don't even see the defensive back in the picture. Of course, they had to switch the outside guy came across to the inside. The inside guy went down the sideline, and they were trying to confuse the coverage on the play, and that's what happened. I thought initially he just ran a deep pattern, the outside receiver.
And the ball just a little underthrown also.
Right.
Here's Beuerlein again. He dumps it off. Walter Reeves, who has only one touchdown reception so far this year. Big fella from Auburn University. Ray Berry in on the tackle for Seattle. So now Johnny Bailey and Larry Centers come back into the lineup for the Cardinals. They are joining Gary Clark, Randall Hill, Ricky Proehl.
You really got to like Johnny Bailey. Boy, he's a terrific player, isn't he?
He's a big play, big time guy.
Oh, he really is.
The pass is intended for Bailey. And it is complete, rather. It looked like it was very low, and man, was there a lot of pressure on Beuerlein that time.
Yeah, he hung in there tough and got rid of the ball nicely on the play.
And one of the Seahawk defenders, Tyrone Rogers, is injured on the field. $9:50 left to go in the game. And tonight on CBS, what's a liberated 21-20 is our score. Phoenix has really come back.
Left side of your screen, you'll see him get buried here right underneath the pile.
He's under Cortez Kennedy.
Right under Cortez. If Cortez Kennedy flopped on him, why, he's in trouble.
That's right. He flops on anyone. Yeah.
That's right. It's okay.
This game is presented by authority of the National Football League, and this CBS telecast is intended for the private use of our audience. Any rebroadcast or other use of this telecast without the express written consent of CBS, the Seattle Seahawks, and the National Football League is prohibited. I mean, even though Tyrone Rogers weighs 266, Cortez Kennedy weighs 293, maybe 300, so you're gonna feel it.
I think he weighed 290 some when he was in college.
First and 10 at the 49. On Moore again. Moore picks up a couple of yards.
Cortez Kennedy really did a good job of coming down the line of scrimmage and making the tackle.
And Cortez knows that he's a marked man in the National Football League now after the great year he had last year. And all the attention, I mean, just about all afternoon today he's been getting at least double teamed in passing situations.
Yeah, I got news for him. He's going to have that same kind of attention the rest of his career.
So the respect that he wanted, he got.
And that's a great compliment to his ability.
Second and 7. Beuerlein throws. Complete to Proehl. Terry Wooden in on the tackle for the Seahawks. Well, you talked about Beuerlein at the beginning of the game, you know, and how methodical he is and how businesslike he is, and he's chewed himself out. He's chewed some of his receivers out today. He wants this one real bad.
Yeah, he really does, and of course he's a terrific competitor. And he knows how to play the game, and he knows how to win the game. That's what's so important, and that's what disturbs him the most when they don't win.
And the Cardinals are very happy to have him. 3rd and 1. Moore, first down, 36-yard line of the Seahawks. Eugene Robinson and Joe Nash in on the tackle for Seattle.
The nice thing about this drive, they're taking time off the clock.
Both teams still have 3 timeouts left in this half. The Cardinals right now are not worried about stopping the clock. They just want to keep on keeping on. And that is methodically moving the ball down the field. Moore again. Cuts back to his left. Into the secondary to the 26-yard line. Now here's where your running backs really earn their money.
Yeah, and again, they have to get yardage after they hit the first time. And of course, the offensive line got a good push that time, a nice cavity right up the middle. And Moore did the rest with good, strong running. See, now he reads the block. Look at the good job of blocking on the left side. And it looked like Louis Sharp getting a down block, and he ran right outside that block.
And Moore, the rookie, gets it one more time, but it looks like it's going to be very, very close for the first down. Moore, who had 4 touchdowns, scored against the Los Angeles Rams, and he becomes only one of 5 rookies to score 4 touchdowns in a single game.
I tell you one thing, the way they're chasing right now, Seattle, if you hit the fullback in there straight ahead and then roll back, bring the tight end across the formation from right to left, I guarantee he'd be wide open because they're chasing like crazy now. In other words, a bootleg pattern. Fake inside, roll left.
Okay, let's see what they come up with. Ricky Prohl and Randall Hill to the bottom of your screen. Beuerlein throws. Intended for Gary Clark. It is ruled incomplete. Dave McCloughan in defending for Seattle. But Beuerlein, when you talk about Beuerlein, you know, you and I both have known him for a long time, and he does, you know, he does a lot of things for the community. You know, he has a golf tournament. All the quarterbacks around the league come in, but you don't find many people that have the intensity that he has. I mean, he has as much intensity about winning a game as anyone.
That's right. And the nice thing about him is the things he does on the outside, he does those things because he cares.
Yeah. And right now, he's really caring about trying to get another score up on the board. But he's going to be thrown down. Cortez Kennedy. That's his 5th sack of the season.
Boy, that's a good rush with 4 people again. They're getting good pressure with just 4 guys rushing the quarterback. Look at Kennedy, the right tackle, number 96 coming up. He pushes him right into the quarterback, and then goes around and makes the tackle from the backside. That's a great effort.
He just got rid of Cortez Kennedy, just got rid of Joe Wolf altogether.
That's right.
Third and 17. Beuerlein. Incomplete for Johnny Bailey. And that was a poorly thrown pass. So now Greg Davis will come in to attempt a field goal. We have 5 minutes and 14 seconds left to go in the 4th quarter.
You got to be disappointed that they didn't do a better job of moving the ball and getting closer to the goal line on this drive.
This will be a 50-yard field goal attempt.
He's capable of doing this.
Yeah, his longest this year is you're looking at 54.
Boy, you got the radar hooked up to that one.
And it's right down the middle. Greg Davis, 50-yard field goal. 5:09 left to go in the game. Hank Phoenix they've scored 17 consecutive points. And you think Greg Davis has given Joe Bugel a little breathing room now?
Well, he has a little bit, but you still have, you know, there's one play out of the game now. for the Seattle Seahawks. Now the defense and the specialty teams have to do a good job, and they have to start right now by doing a good job of covering this kick. They can't let them get a good return on this kick.
So a field goal right now by Seattle is not going to do them any good. They need a touchdown.
That's right. They got to get one play. That's a touchdown.
Davis all set to kick off. John Vaughn back to receive for Seattle. He takes it 2 yards deep in the end zone. He's going to be in trouble. He gets out to the 8-yard line and is tackled there. Good special teams work done by Derek Ware.
And that decision has to be made before the ball is kicked. He was about 2 yards deep in the end zone, and he's got to say to himself, if the ball comes to me, I'm going to down it in the end zone and get it on to 20. If it's in front of me, then I'll catch it and try to get the most yardage I possibly can. He should have downed that ball that time and let it come out to the 20.
But instead, it's at the 10-yard line. 1st and 10, 5 minutes left to go in the game. Warren across the 15 to the 16-yard line. John Booty in on the tackle for the Phoenix Cardinals. Kansas City really coming back. And the Raiders have doubled up the score on Tampa. Myers complete to Kelvin Martin. Kelvin Martin driven out of bounds by Chuck Cecil. So now the Seahawks have a little bit of breathing room, and you can just see the confidence just oozing out of Meyer more and more.
You know, you can tell that Tom Flores has worked with Meyer because his footwork and his technique is very, very solid and very sound. He's always under control, good position with his feet.
And a great catch on the second consecutive catch by Martin. I mean, and Meyer threw that into 3 people.
He's got such a smooth stroke that it doesn't look like it's getting out of there as fast as it actually is spinning. RPMs on that ball is strong.
Here he goes again. Complete to Blage. Brian Blage at the 40-yard line of the Cardinals. That's a pickup of 22 yards. The Seahawks in their hurry-up offense, they are not huddling up. They're coming right up to the line of scrimmage.
They're not getting enough pressure on Myra. That's a problem. Not getting enough pressure.
3:45 left to go in the 4th quarter from the shotgun now. There's the pressure. That's what you were talking about.
That's it.
Ken Harvey. And they have to do more of that from Phoenix's standpoint.
You're right. They just can't let him sit back there without any rush, with a 4-man rush consistently. Comes around the block of the the block of the tackle on the left side.
Yeah, and Meyer did an excellent job just holding on to the ball when it could have been knocked out.
Looked like it could have been scraped out, right?
Yeah. A little confusion now for the Seattle offense. Wide receivers exchanging sides.
Now they got a 3-man rush.
Intended for Kelvin Martin. It's incomplete. Ken Harvey again putting on the pressure for the Cardinals. You know, one of the things about Myra, I saw him last week against the Raiders. He was scrambling and running to his left, and he felt pressure, put the ball in his left hand, and threw it twice.
Well, that's kind of an athlete he is, see?
3:10 left to go in the 4th quarter. 3rd and 15. Ball at the 47-yard line of the Cardinals.
3-man rush now, dropping back 8.
Pass. Complete right over the middle. Rob Thomas. And now the Cardinals are in that prevent defense in which they're just giving up chunks of yardage. That's a pickup of 16 yards. That's a defense, coach, that I know a lot of players absolutely hate.
They come back with 3 again.
This is complete to Paul Green.
And what they're saying defensively is, well, we've got 8 guys back there. We're going to keep them in front of us all the time. Can't make an easy play. You got to make the catch and punish him, and maybe jar the ball loose, but make the tackle. Take as much time off the clock as they possibly can. That's where they're trying to get done right now with that 3-man line.
2nd and 2 at the 23. Crowd really getting into it now for the Seahawks. Meyer throws. Too high for Blades. Brian Blades, his intended receiver, and Isis Williams was defending for the Cardinals. Dan McGuire, another #1 draft choice of the Seahawks a couple of years ago, and people are wondering about his future, but Meyer is the man.
Unless Meyer gets hurt, he didn't have much future.
And he's the new rookie all-time leader in yards for passing. He passed up Jim Zorn.
Look at that middle.
Daniel Williams inside the 15. And that is the last play before the 2-minute warning, and we'll be right back. Hank Joe Bugle has had so many tough losses toward the end of the game. Phoenix and New England have 8 losses by 7 points or less so far this season. And you're just wondering, could this be another one?
Yeah, I guess he's just dreading the thought of that happening again. And New England is also in the same situation with losing 8 by 7 or less.
And now here come the Seahawks again.
Now they're in the 4-man line.
Quarterback throw. Inside the 5 to the 4-yard line goes the rookie quarterback.
4-man line, nobody in the middle whatsoever. None. The right guard did a good job in the center of coming off the ball and picking off the open guy. There's a lot of room when he takes it right down close to about the 4-yard line.
From the shotgun again. Meyer. Points to John L. Give me a block. I'm going to get in there. And he was very, very close.
I thought he ran it in there.
I thought he did too.
I didn't think it was that close, but evidently it was.
The great thing about it, when you saw him come out, he starts pointing.
Well, they're telling him to make a block. Telling Williams to get down there and make a block on the play. Oh, he was in. Now that's the time, really, see, he's running to his right in this area with the ball in his right hand. There it is in.
He didn't get in the first time, but he got in then.
The key to that play was the fact how decisive he was. See, he had the composure to see the opening, took off and run with it, and then he tells Williams to block the guy downfield.
And then he scores on the quarterback sneak.
Yep. And that kind of a play too, Jim. When you're running down close to the sideline by the end zone, you got the ball in your right arm, it's going to be close. You got to put it in your left arm because then the ball would cross the plane. You see, you got it outside. The ball is outside of the plane, outside of the sideline, and it's not a touchdown.
So now here is the extra point attempt. It is good. 1 minute, 22 seconds left to go in the 4th quarter. The youngster from Notre Dame giving them the lead once again.
I tell you, we saw 2 great drives by both of these young teams here this afternoon. Look at Joe Bugle. Boy, he's got to be upset.
That play, Coach, took 13 plays, that drive, 13 plays, 90 yards, 3 minutes and 45 seconds.
It's a big league drive, just like the drive that the Cardinals had, you see. And at that, we talked about it when the drive was initiated. Hey, the defense has to come to the rise to the occasion and stop the offense. They didn't do it. The offense won the war.
Man, there's no reason in the world for Phoenix to panic right now. They got 3 timeouts, got 1 minute and 20 seconds, 1 minute 22 on the clock. And Beuerlein is the kind of guy, he's been in this situation before.
Oh, sure, yeah, that's right. But the big thing now is they've got to get a good return on this kickoff with decent field position.
Yeah. And there's Greg Davis, who has to be starting to think right now, Hank, can I be the guy to tie this game up? Don Casey all set to kick off for the Seahawks. Anthony Edwards And Johnny Bailey back to receive. This is Bailey at the 2. Bailey to the 30. Out at the 35-yard line, and that's the good field position you were talking about, Hank.
That's, boy, I tell you, he's great. That Bailey, you got to love him. He runs with his heart in his sleeve. He's a very emotional runner.
And that's a return of 34 yards.
Watch this now. Watch the kicker make the tackle. Here he is, and a good one. Good
And
hit.
he stuck his head and shoulders in
Yes,
there.
he did.
Normally you see kickers just kind of scratching and clawing and pushing.
And most of the time they conveniently miss.
Yeah. Okay, here we go. 1:17 left to go. Beuerlein, Ricky Proehl, still on his feet, across the 40, gets to the 42-yard line. 1 minute and 5 seconds left to go on the game now, or in regulation. The screen, right up the middle. This is Bailey to the 50-yard line. There's a timeout on the field. 45 seconds left to go in regulation, because now the thought comes into your mind of overtime.
That could happen.
Score. 45 seconds left. 27-24. Seahawks over the Cardinals. And Coach, what would be the philosophy now? Just get it down, what, another 25, 30 yards, and then let Davis try and tie it?
Yeah, I think you have to do first things first. I think you have to be thinking in terms of tying the game first, hoping you can get it into overtime, and then going ahead from there and winning it.
So Greg Davis, longest field goal so far this season is 54 yards. He has one today of 50. Beuerlein, Gary Clark. It is complete and out of bounds.
See, the other thing
And
is,
now there's a flag on the play. There's a late flag in the Cardinal backfield, and Beuerlein is all upset about that.
Personal foul, unnecessary roughness, 64 offense.
Against Rick Cunningham.
boy, that's a tough call, isn't it?
Yeah. And Joe Bugel still rooting his troops on, knowing that they only need a field goal to tie. Now we're going to see where the officials mark off the penalty.
There we see a good contrast in the personalities of the two coaches.
Yeah.
Joe's a fiery fighter, you know, blood and guts kind of a guy, and he shows that emotion on the sideline. Tom Flores on the other side of the field is called the easy rider. Who will call him a collective.
But of course, Joe Bugel is actually coaching for his coaching career with the Cardinals.
That's right. He's fighting for his life.
Yeah.
Left end was offside.
Flag on the play.
Offside.
Beuerlein still trying to go through with it. Once again, flag on the play. It looked like Seattle was offside.
Yeah, the left end, somebody, the outside guy in the line of scrimmage was offside, unless he was forced to get outside by a premature movement on the part of the offense.
At 67, Antonio Edwards, who makes the tackle, but he was offside. Or that's the preliminary call.
Did it look like 64 picked up? It looked like he might have lifted his right foot.
False start prior to the snap. 64 offense.
Yeah, you got it.
64.
You got it, Hank.
Please
Moved his
40
foot
seconds on the game clock. Thank you.
prematurely. Watch right side of line, number 60. Look at, see his foot move? Watch it. Watch his right foot.
There it is. So even though it looked like Antonio Edwards was offside, he was drawn off by Rick Cunningham. But more importantly, there's only 40 seconds left to go in regulation.
And the field position has diminished as far as the opportunity for the kick.
This is Johnny Bailey on the screen. Bailey to the 50-yard line. 33 seconds left to go. There's a timeout on the field. The Cardinals call a timeout. And those are two huge, huge mistakes that could come back and cost them this ball game, or at least cost them the tie right now.
Well, this has been a terrific game considering the records of both teams.
Steve Berline, 3 touchdown passes so far this afternoon. Brought his team back and gave them the lead. However, behind Rick Meyer, the Seahawks have come back and they lead. The Seahawks lead the Cardinals by a score of 27-24. We have 32 seconds left to go in the fourth quarter. The Cardinals have 1 timeout left. The Seahawks have all 3 of theirs. It is 2nd and 20 for the Cardinals at the 49-yard line of Seattle. Look at the pressure by the Seahawks, but he gets it away. It's complete to Gary Clark. Clark gets down to about the 32-yard line. 23 seconds left to go. That's a pickup of 17 yards. 17 seconds. 15 seconds.
Spike the ball.
13 seconds. And he spikes it and kills the clock with 9 seconds left to go.
Boy, it looked like they wasted a lot of time in that process.
Yeah.
Wasted a lot of time in that process.
Now there is a flag on the play. Louis Sharp, the 12-year veteran for the Cardinals, took his helmet off and is arguing vehemently with the referees. Or with the officials, I should say.
Illegal formation offense. 64 was on the end of the line. Uncovered.
Now they say that 64, which is Rick Cunningham, was on the end of the line. He was on the end of the line when they spiked the ball. Once again, Hank, you mentioned it, they wasted, 4 or 5, maybe 6 precious seconds.
Yeah, they took too much time to do that, go through that procedure.
Most important thing right now is 9 seconds left on the clock. Seahawks lead the Cardinals 27-24. Now the choice comes up, Hank.
Well, they have 1 timeout left.
Yeah.
They have 1 timeout left.
But 9 seconds.
Only 9 seconds. That's right. The only thing they can do is try to get it again. They're going to be double covering the outside guys so they can't catch the ball and go out of bounds. So they'll double them. The place you got to throw the ball is in the middle and immediately call timeout.
These two teams certainly aren't going to postseason play, but they are battling this afternoon, and there's a lot at stake. One, Joe Bugel and his coaching career with the Phoenix Cardinals. Tom Flores seeing the light at the end of the tunnel. And now there seems to be, Hank, a lot of confusion on the field by the officials as to how much yardage you possibly will penalize.
Illegal formation on the offense, 5 yards. Repeat, 3rd down.
Okay, 5 yards.
What happened, I think, was that the tackle was not on the line of scrimmage. He was off a little bit, and as a result, they didn't have enough people on the line of scrimmage.
Okay, now you got 9 seconds. You got to get off. You got to get off a quick play and get it done in 5, 6 seconds.
Like that.
Yeah.
And they all got to be aware. Whoever catches the ball's got to immediately call timeout, so they have time enough to kick.
Yeah. So they got to get, what, 8, 9 yards. There's got to be something quick, as you mentioned.
And they got to be careful they don't blow the opportunity, too. There it is.
Oh, hit him right in the head, Larry Centers.
We talk about, and he's the guy they go to. He's the guy that catches so many passes. And they hit him in the hands, it just drops.
Yep. Okay, now, Greg Davis is coming in. Here's another look at it, Coach. Oh.
Boy, he could have made some good yardage on the sideline, too. The linebacker was very, very deep. No chance to make the tackle.
All right, here's Davis to attempt a 55-yard field goal with 6 seconds to go. His longest of his career, 54 yards.
He can get it. He can make it. He's strong enough. He did.
Yes!
Boy,
Gentlemen.
You talk about a pressure kick. Wow.
We're going into overtime. 0-0 on the clock. Scores tied. We're coming back with OT from Seattle. Just calm about everything,
yes.
like he does it all the time. Now here's Bugle's reaction.
Look at that. Look at that
Come on,
footwork.
baby.
Look at
Come
that
on,
footwork.
baby. Come on, baby.
Look at that. Look at whoop. There he goes.
That was almost, well, not almost like Randall Hill's dance in the end zone, but similar.
Pretty good agility there on the sideline, the old coach.
That's the longest field goal ever by Greg Davis in his career. Also in Cardinal history, the longest field, and it couldn't have come, I mean Phoenix Cardinal history, and it couldn't have come at a better time for that man.
Well, I think this is a great tribute. This tells you an awful lot about this team and their feeling about what they're trying to get done, and their feeling about the family, the feeling about, talking about the football family of the Cardinals, the feeling about the future and what they have in store in the future. They think they can be an excellent football team. They're very close, they think, to being an outstanding football team, and it would be a terrible shame, really would be, if they don't have Joe Bugle to coach them the rest of the way.
So now we're getting ready to begin overtime. Seattle will kick off. Anthony Edwards, and this is Johnny Bailey. Bailey gets to about the 19-yard line, and that's where the Cardinals will take over 1st and 10. I was talking with Paul Green early before the game. He said, Jimmy, we know we aren't going anyplace, but he says, I guarantee you this is going to be a great game. And it's turned out that way.
It certainly has.
1st and 10 at the 20-yard line. We are in overtime, 27-27. The Phoenix Cardinals and the Seattle Seahawks. Larry Centers, Johnny Bailey in the backfield now for the Cardinals. Beuerlein throws. That's Johnny Bailey. Carlton Gray defending for Seattle. And actually, this is really all they have to do, just march it right on down, because now Phoenix has got to feel like they have all the momentum on their side. You know, just kick the field goal to tie it, and they got the ball right back.
Yeah, they just have to, again, you get tired of hearing the word, but they got to just be patient and do their thing, read the coverages properly, and get the ball to the right guy.
A pickup of 6, 2nd and 4. More. Nowhere. It's Bailey once again. Johnny Bailey. Tackled by Ray Berry, number 57. So in the lineup now for Phoenix, you have Ricky Prohl, Randall Hill, Gary Clark, Larry Centers, Johnny Bailey, Steve Beuerlein at quarterback.
They got to be able to hit the back and the flat on that left side.
Quick pass. Gary Clark.
See, what you got a receiver on that side, you got a back in the backfield. Throw the pass, either have a game between the two of them, either a halfback at a flat or the flanker on the inside. One of the two guys got to be open and let him catch the ball and run. Hope they can run for another. If they catch it for 8, hope they can run for another 8.
Ooh, San Francisco really put it on Detroit, didn't they?
Boy, I tell you.
Hey, Coach, Beuerlein has thrown for 403 yards passing this afternoon. 1st and 10. Moore picks up a couple of yards.
Here go Matt.
Dean Wells in on the tackle for Seattle.
Here go Matt.
12:44 left to go in the overtime period. 27-27. That's Clark again.
There you go.
Dave McClellan defending for Seattle. And here's where the wily veteran comes through.
And there again, though, you see the way that coverage is, we've talked about it throughout the game. That particular pattern is open if you just take advantage of it and throw the ball out there. And that's what they've been doing and doing a good job of it.
Hank, Clark has caught 12 passes today for 156 yards. At the 46-yard line of the Cardinals, it's 1st and 10. Inside handoff to Moore. And the rookie gets to about the 48-yard line.
Well, the Raiders are putting some points on the scoreboard, 27-17 now.
'27's a hot number around the league, huh? We got a pair of 27s on the board here. And that's why we are in overtime.
They got in front of those backs. Oh!
Intended for Randall Hill, and it was incomplete. So Randall Hill, who the pass was intended for, was incomplete. He already has, or he has one touchdown reception this afternoon. He was a starter last year, but then they got Gary Clark by free agency. Anthony Edwards is in the lineup now.
Five-man rush now.
The pass complete to Edwards, still on his feet. Anthony Edwards struggles to the 40-yard line.
A good recognition on the part of Beuerlein. They're coming. They got a five-man rush. He throws a slant pattern inside. Edwards does a super job of running through the traffic.
So the ball is actually going to be marked at the 41-yard line. 10:35 left to go in the overtime period. Beuerlein and the Cardinals marching down the field. Pass complete to Ricky Proehl. Knocked out of bounds at the 33-yard line. And who are the Cardinals starting to think about again?
Mr. Davis.
That's it. Well, as soon as he hit it to tie the game, Hank, you knew that was it. You said good automatically.
I've seen him. He was with Atlanta. He's got a great leg. Man, he can really boom him.
And these are the ideal conditions for them to do it in. Tom Flores still cool on the outside, churning just a little bit more on the inside. 2nd and 3 at the 33.
Look at all the room on the left side again. Look at that cornerback, how wide he is, how deep he is.
Inside handoff. Ron Moore down to the 27 to 28-yard line. Tyrone Rogers in on the tackle for Seattle.
Well, you talk about some impressive drives on the part of both teams.
Oh, yeah.
We've seen him here this afternoon.
There's an official timeout on the field. 9:37 left to go in overtime. 27-27 tie. And for the second time, here's another little conference by the officials going off to the right over there. Ron Blum is the referee this afternoon, and they've had their hands full.
Yeah, they've had a lot of powwows out there, didn't they? Haven't they so far this game?
It looks like one of the officials may be injured. That's Gordon Wells, number 89. They're taking him off the field.
Yeah, he's walking very slowly.
Yeah.
I think, you know, I talked to him a little bit before the game, and he said he had sounded like a bad cold, and voice was very, very hoarse. He might have a bad cold or something, and it started to take effect.
And if that happens, you know, all the running up and down could get dizzy.
Yep, aggravates the condition.
How about these stats? 34, 53, 431 yards. Career highs for Steve Beuerlein. Moore again. Working that ball right towards the middle of the field.
Now they want to get it as close as they possibly can and kick one through there again and end this game.
I've been on the defensive side of this, and as Davis still waits, I've been on the other side of this where the Seahawks now, and you just, when it gets to this point, you just say, oh no.
No, that's right. Well, that back of the flat would be wide open. Not more.
Inside the 25. 8:45 left to go in the overtime period. Tua Tagovailoa and Joe Nash in on the tackle for Seattle. You know, and you know, people, you know, some people will say, well, you know, Davis should really, it should be automatic from this distance, but not necessarily. I mean, sure, he kicked the time field goal.
The last two kicks don't mean anything. It's what you're going to do in the third one. This
right.
Coming up.
And don't think there won't be a little bit of chatter on the field.
Oh, certainly.
8:20 to go in the overtime period. We're all tied, and we'll be right back.
In the event they have some kind of miscue, they can still get another shot at it on fourth down. That's why they're doing it.
Smart decision.
Move.
Smart move to go for it now.
Right.
So here we go with Greg Davis for the game winner. This will be a field goal attempt of 41 yards. And Tom may be cool on the outside, but you can see by his eyes are getting a little bit bigger now.
Yeah, and he's turning inside. I guarantee you, he's turning inside. Not, however, as much as Clark.
No, not at all. And believe me, there's a lot of talking going on the field right now. Here is Greg Davis for the game winner. And the Cardinals and Joe Bugel have their 5th victory of the year. It's amazing. It got quiet in a hurry. The reason, the Cardinals have come back to win.